Lift your hands, worship Him, exalt Him. Who can? You are Lord Dog Almighty. Worthy is the dog, worthy is the dog. You are the who God. Alleluia, alleluia. For the Lord Dog Hoogan reigns. Alleluia, alleluia. For the Lord Dog Hoogan reigns. Hoogans. Hogan, Hoogan. You are Lord Dog Almighty. Worthy is the dog, worthy is the dog. You are the Hoogan. You are Lord Dog Almighty. Worthy is the dog, worthy is the dog. You are the Hoogan. You are Lord Dog Almighty. Worthy is the dog Almighty. Worthy is the dog Almighty. Who God, you are Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the dog, worthy is the dog. You are the who can. All the feral children sing. Glory, glory, He reigns. All the feral children sing. Glory, glory, He reigns. Again, you are Lord God Almighty. Worthy is the dog, you are the Hoogan.
Some young people are attracted to the occult by seemingly harmless pleasures, such as games and music. They start by participating in fantasy role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons. Others are drawn into Satanism by heavy metal rock music. These heavy metal groups flaunt satanic symbols on their album covers and anti-Christian satanic messages in their music. There are 4 different symbols which refer to the mark of the beast, or Satan. 3 6s in a row. 3 6s facing inward of each other. 3 Fs in a row, F being the 6th letter of the alphabet. You should remember these important dates, because they will coincide with numerous reports of abductions, missing persons, and ritual crimes. When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, black or red robes, a decorative dagger or knife, a chalice or goblet, black candles. Parents must provide attention and love, protecting their children from corrupt influences. When this is accomplished, you can be confident that children will grow into happy, well-adjusted, and productive citizens, free from satanic and occultic influences.
Hey everyone, just wanted to pop in and say, I know that I show you a lot of satanic propaganda. It's funny to me. There's something wrong with my head. I don't know. I find it very funny. But I did think, since it's the Lord's Day, Hoogan's Day, it would probably help to give you a little bit of both sides of the conversation. We don't want to be one-sided on everything, you know? We got to have balance. With all evil is good, and with all good is evil. Isn't that the yin and the yang or some shit? Anyway, I was yin-yanged out earlier, twin style, whispering to myself, how am I going to set up the episode today? And it occurred to me, you guys might need some gospel duck and Rodney the Rappin' Rhino in your life. Because they've grown on me as well, like a wart. Hello, Sassy Suze. Also, hello to everybody. To Suze, I did. First of all, let me pop in here and say some shit to you kids. First of all, thank you very much. I've been trying to keep up with my thank yous, my pleases, and my thank yous, and I'm trying to do the thing where once a week I can give you a moment and say, hey, thanks for cash apps or Venmos or things or whatever it is, the coffees that you buy. I have my phone charging most of the time when I'm doing these lives. Usually, sometimes I don't, but my battery's been dying a lot. So I don't hear them, and so I collect them and I write them on a little piece of paper so I can say thank you. And I just saw you, Susie, and I gotta say, hey, thanks, Susie. Hey, thanks, Suzanne, for your cash app this week, and Lorianne, and Daniel, and Nicole, and Ernie. And I think that's it. So thank you guys so much. And if I miss someone, I will drown myself. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that's it. Listen, I also want to shout out Chubbs the cat. I like to shout out, not shit out. I like to shout out. I don't want to eat and shit him out. I'd like to shout out Chubb or her. I don't know. I'm not trying to assume Chubb's gender here, Darlene. I don't want to offend Chubbs. Tish, it's okay. It's okay, Tish. Also, Tish, were you the one you said you had mailed me something like a letter or a package? I have not got it yet. Our post office is very slow. It was like a month after they said it was delivered before I finally got Mitty's package, which was an amazing Macho Man that Hugin likes to hump. But I want to give a shout out to Chubbs the cat who survived a snake bite. Is that correct? My God. They make those ferals strong and mighty now. That cat is built like a brick shit house. I saw the wound, Darlene. I saw the wound. Hey, thank you, Min. Thank you for listening. And thank you to Chubbs for taking one for the team. Chubbs went out there. He got bit by a snake, which some might interpret maybe as Hudson on account of the whole serpent thing. How's big boy Tiff? Is your baby doing okay? I know he's an old guy, right? Chubbs is a boy. Okay, well then I gendered Chubbs correctly. Excellent. Otherwise, that would be awkward. I'm not trying to judge these cats. If the cats want to, if you got a trans cat, it's fine. I just don't want any cats to be offended. Give me your pet's pronouns as well if you're going to tell me about your pets. If it is a snake, you need to specify, is it a gay snake or not? Big boy still with us. Excellent. Hanging in like the cat on the... Hang in there. I have one of those. I'll send you. Yeah, Chubbs is fucking... Man, I have a question. Is the snake okay? Because you goddamn well know Chubbs... Chubbs those were defensive wounds. You know that Chubbs went at the devil that day and survived. Probably because he had the power of Gospel Duck and Rodney the Rappin' Rhino. I don't know. I don't know what religion Chubbs is. Darlene, no cats left behind. Sempre gatto. All snakes are gay. Fact. Oh, shit. Is that true? It's pretty funny. All snakes are gay. Oh, okay. Well, great. There's no snakes in Hawaii, so is Hawaii anti-gay? Just a question, just a thought. Or is it spiders? No, it's snakes, right? It's snakes. Gazongas, what's up, guys? Or what'd you say? Gang sauce? Oh. Hey, all on. I'm emailing the 2 cases in my town, unsolved and best friend murdered in 99, whose killer has been found to be a serial killer just in your spell time. Email that to me, Clam. Email it to me. If you already did, I'll go back through it. AJ, that's racist. You can't say all snakes are gay. AJ, ho. Why are you copying me? Now you and Cursey Nursey have beef. Will you get over it? Will you make amends? I don't know. He's doing okay. I got to call the vet to see if I can get some sedative for the dressings. You're going to feed him salad dressings with sedative in it? That's a good idea. I had a hermaphroditism cat. Her balls were inside of her when she was spayed. So we have to call your cat they now, right? Or just her? Did you pick, or did she pick, or she just got to keep the balls? I sometimes feel like I am also a cat with balls tucked deep inside of me. Some may say I'm a gay man. Jameson and Jackson's pronouns are he, him, and stop that. Ireland doesn't have snakes. You're on it. Excellent. Please send it to me. I'm very interested. Ireland does have gazongas. Excellent. Forgot my tea. He's a nightmare to change dressings. Well, you got to play more gospel duck. You got to play. There's so many chickens in Hawaii. There are so many chickens, and there's a reason for it. And if I could remember anything tour guide Creepy Uncle Kevin taught us, I would tell you about it, but I can't remember. Something about the war. Something about the war. She's a girl. Excellent. It's a chicken, and okay. Ha ha ha. I thought those were ovaries. No, are we all gay straight cats? I think we are. Or I'm not a cat. Wait, I'm not a cat. None of us are cats, right? Look at all those chickens. There's a really bad storm on a crate and chickens got loose on the island of Kauai. Yeah, that's basically it. And now they're fucking everywhere because it's fuck island. Please, I have tried everything. Did you try sedatives in the ranch dressing? Have you tried it? What can we send you, darling? Can I send you Thousand Island for your cat? You're not a lawyer either? Excellent. Because that would be a tough job. I had a cat, and Bev wouldn't let you on the stand. She wouldn't let you argue anything. It's up to her now. I had a cat who thought it was a girl until the neighbor decided to mark her. We found out she was a he when they put her down. I'll carry Gil forever for calling him Cookie Elsa. That was the gayest cat ever. You just got to tell yourself that cat was gay and loved it. That cat was a drag cat. Explain the chickens in Key West, please. Well, that was me, and I apologize for that. I was there. I had chickens. I said, what am I going to do with these chickens? And I released them in Key West. And, the FBI still hasn't caught me, but please don't tell. Please? You love Thousand Island? Well, the cat will too if you put drugs in it. Megan, what? That's horrifying. I mean, it was a fabulous cat. You just have to tell yourself that. Or maybe you were like one of those. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze again. Maybe you're like one of those parents who's like Charles Manson's mom, where you put your boy in a dress and you're just like, you're my little girl now. And he's like, no, I'm not. And maybe you're shit. Do we need to get you better help? I'm sorry. R.I.P. to your cat. Listen, chickens are gay too. God damn it. You can't feel guilty about that though, Megan. It's not your fault you didn't go feel up his balls. I'd be more concerned if you felt up your cat. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like, I know there's some balls in there somewhere. Or even just to check, like, don't do that. Yeah, you need gender affirming neighbors. Don't make me call Satan. There's chickens in this place called Yuba City in California that live all along the freeway in the middle of the city. It's the weirdest thing. I did that too. I apologize for that too. Look, guys, I can't just apologize for all the chickens I let loose. But I did it, and it's done. It's done. The chickens are everywhere, and I'll bring them to your town too if you keep fucking coming at me. Obi, we got big time pollen, orange blossoms. I know. I'm like, it's so bad. I dusted the ceiling fans, and it's just been shit. I had a cat who meowed, very gay. So his name was Gay. Should have seen the neighbors look at us when we called him to come in. Gay! Psst, 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 psst. Please only do that to me now. From now on, Nicole, if you need me, just scream at the sky. Gay! Psst, 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 psst. And I'll come. I will show up because I'm a big gay dude. You've been sneezing your ass off. The worst pond I've ever seen, you guys, is in Georgia. The state. Just in case there's another one out there. I believe there's one overseas in Russia or something. It was golden thick piles. It looked like gold keef. And it was on everything. And I felt like I was dying. Megan, thank you and thank yourself for not sexually assaulting your cat. We appreciate it. Justice for your cat. Tombstones, thank you for being a member for 8 months. I cannot believe how long. Yes, I did. And I was like Metalocalypse. I was like, release the kitties. But instead it was chickens. It was release the chickens. Yeah, thank you. Everyone tell Megan thank you for not sexually assaulting your cat. You didn't grab the balls. You didn't know. Nobody knows. They don't tell you when you get a cat, you got to cut the balls. They don't tell you that. They don't say, hey, cup the balls. They say, cut them. So you just do what you do. If you didn't know he had balls, that meant he wasn't neutered. Does he have kittens out there? Megan? Shredder's parents were so feral, so she has some weird shit she does when she wants to. She can be terrifying. Dude, so can I. I think we all can. I quit Twitter today for 24 hours. You know why? I got scared of myself. I said, oh no, you're about to threaten and do a bad. You just got rid of all the beef. Don't repack the fridge. Can't grab balls you don't know exist. Am I right? Pff, bitch, let's put that on a shirt, Cursey Nursey. I'll put your picture next to it. R.I.P. Cookie Elsa, the sweetest boy with the most hidden balls we've ever seen. R.I.P. him. Justice for Chubbs. Free Big Boy. We do what we got to do on this channel. We respect the felines. Sempre gato. Megan, always gently cup the balls, or don't. Just let it be. Let it be an in-between. Who cares? It's a happy cat. Can't tell what type of snake, but my son found rattlesnakes around. You know, tell your son not to go snake hunting. If it's going to bite the cat, it'll go after your son for sure. Georgia, the country is Russia. Excellent. Yeah, the bad pollen in the one here. In reality, my cat is teaching me to be feral. Dear God, says Satan. Oh, speaking of God, check this out.
I love to be a drunk for Jesus. I love to be a drunk for the Lord. I want to be what He wants me to be. Living in the light of His word. Oh, it took the longest time to make me. He loves me just the way that I am. I love to be a drunk for Jesus. Just
like, really ask yourself, do you think that Rodney or any of the fucking fly ass crew, the entourage, the Raj behind these stoned walls, do you think they cupped Gospel Duck's balls and assigned him a gender or her? We don't know. No. They said, we're going to give you a violet shirt so you can be either or. And I like that. Good for the duck.
Jesus is my friend.
Yep. Jesus is your friend.
I used to want to be an eagle and fly.
To be honest with you, I've been lying to you guys this whole time. I have a severe drinking problem, and this is me. This is me last Saturday, and I apologize. Please unsubscribe. I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you because I've just been getting hammered on Zimas and goddamn Sky Blue my whole fucking life. And yeah, I sit in the window and I sing like a duck to people, and I praise Jesus, and I apologize for that. I didn't know. I've never seen a duck penis, but I know that they rape each other. At least ours did. It's very scary. It's very scary. Bert used to rape Ernie all the time. That was my parents' ducks. I called them Beavis and Butthead because I didn't know their name for a long time. I honestly think one of them was named Jason for a while. I don't know why, but we went through a period of naming the pets or any farm animals, like just name them a human name. I liked to name things Kevin after my brother because it confused him and it made me laugh. Tell you what, listen to me. This is me. How dare you, Mitty? This is me in the window drunk, drinking Zima Classic, Zima Lime.
Up at the sky. I used to look at my web feet. I kind of had
Listen, Sherlock Ho, I would appreciate it if you could. Do you know how much shit I'm gonna catch for this comment? We could be sued for defamation unless you can prove that they rape in a court of law. I don't know what we're gonna do with this dolphin thing. I mean, yes, a lady gave a dolphin acid, and that did happen. And she was a scientist, and she got bad research out of it. But I'm telling you, if I get sued by the dolphin community, I'm putting it on your back, AJ, because I cannot handle it. Zima and Squirt, how dare you? Oh, no, I get that. Those are drinks. Excellent.
Why? Boo-hoo, I'm so ugly. Hey, Lord, how about a flamingo? Yeah.
This is what I do. I get drunk. I turn into my final form, which is this fat little duck with a cute little gay sweater, and I sit in my window and I go, I'm ugly, and I fucking cry to God. I put my hands up to God because I'm fucked on Zimas. You guys?
They're so beautiful and tall. Then Jesus lifted me into his arms and said, Ducky, you're beautiful just the way I made you. And I don't make mistakes at all. Hallelujah.
See how cool I am? I'm like, I don't make mistakes at all. And I'm just fucking plowed on, what is it, Mad Dog? On Mad Dog. And I'm just jubileed out.
Yeah, now I love to be a duck for Jesus. I love to be a turkey for the Lord. I want to be what He wants me to be.
Dude, that's what men want. They want two in case one breaks. That's actually, if you could figure out a way to do that, get with me, Beto. She knows some shit. No, the duck's not God. He's just crying to God, and he is me. And I am screaming in a window because I'm a duck. What am I supposed to do? Guys, this gospel duck song is 8 minutes long. We are at minute 2. Look, we're not going to get all the way to the end, but we're going to see how far we can go.
Oh, I took too long to try to make me. He loves me just the way that I am. I love to be a duck for Jesus. Cause Jesus is my friend. Oh, I love to be a duck for Jesus.
I don't know if he's an American citizen. Look, Rosemary, we can't just be deporting everyone. We start with Trooper Proctor and then we'll go from there. But like, I don't know. I'll ask him for his birth certificate.
I love to be a ducky for the Lord. I want to be what He wants me to be. Living in the Lord is His word. Oh, He took the longest time to make me. He loves me just the way that I am. I love to be a duck for Jesus. Because Jesus is my friend.
The Bible. This comes directly from the Bible. This is from Colossians 2:10.
Amazing grace. How
Try not to cry.
sweet.
This is the most beautiful part. So try not to cry. Try not to cry. Don't call ice on this duck. Don't you dare call ice on this beautiful gay duck. All right? You haven't understood a word the duck said. Well, you're clouded by Satan. You're so clouded by Satan, your ears are clogged with piss and you can't hear the word of the Lord.
The shout that says,
I cannot agree more. I saw Bob Dylan at ACL over a decade ago and he sounded exactly like this duck. Holy shit. Point.
a little ducky like me.
Okay, I'm going to leave this comment up for a good minute so we all have time to screenshot this and put it on Twitter and just fucking hose your sister Melissa with this. Because A, very funny. B, hilarious. C, that's going to give us at least a month of real hardcore entertainment. I mean, God, this is the best comment I've ever seen. Should he have been jailed? If these are the ducks?
Yeah, thank you, Jesus. Was so very, very
Did not sound like he said thank you. It sounded like a real bad word.
evil. But now I found, hallelujah, I was blind. But now I see.
Still not over it.
Praise God. Praise God.
Just starting to break
Thank
down.
you, Jesus. I love you, Lord.
Right about now, you might be feeling like maybe you deserve a little Jesus in your life. Maybe you're starting to realize, man, I've been living my life wrong. I need to be in a castle, dressed like a furry, screaming into a moat. Glenn Mink Ministries will make albums of me. I need tea, I need honey, I need a nebulizer. Help me. That could be you. That could be you one day. But you're gripped by the rapture of Satan. You're gripped by the devil. He got you by the horns, or you've got him by the horns. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Listen, we have a lot to talk about. I thought gospel, duck, and the devil, and all of your trans cats and all that fun stuff would lead us into a lot. We got a lot to talk about, you guys. Chubbs is healing, though, and I'm glad to hear this. There is a missing young lady. A member of our group, Erica, hit me up. She said it's like her friend's granddaughter or something. And I'm like, I wish that there was more on this, like as far as a flyer and stuff. So I'm going to make one. I actually was working on it. I did not finish it in time for the episode, but I do have some stuff to show you guys. This young lady is 17 years old, and she is from South Dakota, Rapid City, and she's missing. And she was last seen, she would hang out around the spot that was like I believe it was a liquor store. And no judgment, there ain't much to do out there, I guess. But if you are in the South Dakota area, let me actually make myself small and make this big so you could see it. So this young lady is, hold on, sorry, Melissa, gotta pop up that banner. This young lady is 17 years old. She's been missing for 6 days. It gives you the phone number right there. If you're listening and not watching, the phone number is 605-394-4131. That's 605-394-4131. If you see or hear from or happen to get the name of Hannah McNaught from a girl that looks like she's around 17, she has a tattoo of 2007 as in 2007 on her right forearm. She's 17 years old. She's a white female with brown hair and brown eyes. She's about 5'7" and about 120 pounds. Now, the picture that I am showing you is what she looks like without makeup on. And I'm going to show you also, this is what she looks like with makeup on. So she looks quite a bit different. And I want to show you both because you know when we glam up, we look good. And then we glam down, we still look good, but we just look totally different sometimes. You know, some people people in my school got tattoos at like 16, 15. Nose rings, tongue rings. It's kind of not that big of a deal now. But just here's what, I'm not sure what she was wearing, but maybe this is what her hair looks like. Here, let me make it bigger. And so if you see this girl, she's adorable. She kind of looks like Kristen Galvan a little bit. Bless her heart, man. This sucks. I'm so sad. I hope that Erica and her friends and family are okay. And anybody, you know, who's worried about this, I just hope that she comes home and, you know, it brings peace to their heart and that everything's okay with her. This is what she looks like again. Here's an up close. But yeah, she's been missing for about 6 days. So if you are in or around the South Dakota area, or maybe even around it, Hannah McNaught, she's 17 years old. She ain't been seen in about, it's going on a week soon. So these are, let me show you the other picture. That's her again. So, and here's another one. Here's the bigger one of her, what she might look like. So if you happen to spot her, I will post a flyer on my community page if you want to share it with the info that's been provided. So far, the Rapid City Police don't seem to have any updates, but their number is 605-394-4131. If you see her or if you hear about her, even what I was reading was she was last seen possibly with a guy named Scott. Not today, hon. Satan kicked you out last night to be funny, but we got to talk about some serious stuff. And no, you don't have to walk on eggshells. Don't play that game with me. You're fine. All right, look, Hannah is 17 years old. She's from South Dakota. She's missing. It's been 6 days. She is a friend of a channel member, and she's a friend's granddaughter. And so, yeah, this is tragic. If you want to share the flyer when I post it up, please feel free to, and I'll try to keep up with this. Now, unfortunately, I do have some pretty bad news. And that's part of the reason why I started off goofing around. But before we get into that, I got to show you this. This popped up. I don't know what this is. This popped up. Everybody's been saying it's viral, and they're like, have you heard of this woman who pulled this horse's tail? And I was like, no. And they sent it to me. And I was like, I guess I'll watch it with the kids. I don't like seeing horses' tails get pulled. I really don't know what this is about. No, the duck was a joke. Absolutely. It was a joke. I have no idea, Tiff. There's like so little on this case. If I can find, yeah, eggs are expensive, Scott. Don't walk on them. If anything, don't walk on them because they're expensive. Yeah, no, there's nothing really available. There's nothing really available on her. Like everything is from the one page on Facebook that Erica shared with me, and I just shared that with you guys. But I know that her mom is really worried, her family's really worried. So no, it's not that bad. It's just like this is one of those stories. The reason I put it in is because I really just want to stress, like, when we went to Hawaii, there were people who wanted to touch the turtles so bad. And they were told, like, don't fucking touch the turtles. Like, that's not okay. Like, don't do that. And people touch the turtles. And what does it do? It fucks the turtles up somehow. I don't know how, but it does. And then, like, my friends who work in Yellowstone, the biggest complaint for them is, like, the amount of people who get charged. Because they're like, don't approach a fucking buffalo. Like, don't go near a bison. Don't do it. It's not worth it. What happens? They get fucking charged. And but like not just with a ticket, but also like literally charged at. You know, when there's these African safaris in Texas where you can drive through and see zebras, and it's like they poke their head in, you can pet them, but be very careful, you know? So don't get out of your car. And what happens when people get out of their car? They get fucked up. So this is a lady who, you know, thought it would be funny to pull a horse's tail. Well, a fucking 5-year-old was on it. And now it's a whole thing. And apparently it's been blowing up on the internet and everybody's got comments on it. I saw 10 seconds and I was like, I'm getting irritated as fuck. Like at the amount of people who just like treat animals better. What are we doing? Yeah. So I'm like, let's see what the outcome is. Because I kind of hope she gets hoofed. But it's just like, we got to watch shit like this because it's like, this is what happens. This is what happens when you mess with a horse. Okay? You get the whatever. I don't know. Let's see.
Viral video behind me has been pretty much made the rounds all over the world on social media, and it happened right here in the Bay Area in Daly City. A woman pulled a horse's tail while a little boy was riding the horse, and in a move that seemed to be pretty predictable to just about everybody else but this lady, the horse freaked out and threw the little boy from its back. This happened during a riding lesson at Ocean View Stables, which is not far from Fort Funston. The woman who did that to the horse was arrested. The manager of the stables tells our
Good.
Kelsey Thord tonight she was shocked by all of it.
This is the moment. Police say 29-year-old Tomasa Panjones-Leon ran behind a horse and pulled its tail, causing the horse to spook and buck off a young child.
It blew all of our minds that someone would one.
Oh my God. No, it was not her kid. What is that fuzz? Do you guys hear that? Oh, it's my microphone. Hold on. There we go. It's gone. She ran up behind. It wasn't even her kid. It wasn't even her kid. Holy shit. That's crazy. I assumed it was her kid. Yeah, what an a-hole, dude. Like, you gotta be a real piece of shit to do something like that. Oh my God, I hope they sue this woman.
Do that to the animal, do that to the child that was riding.
Right?
Caroline Reed is the barn manager at Ocean View Stables, the barn that was hosting the kids.
Dude, good for her. That young ass girl is a barn manager? Damn. That's pretty cool. That's a hard job. Man, this stuff is messing up. I need to get a new board. This is crazy. Hold on. Hell yeah. If I just smash it, then usually kicks back in. Yeah, I think that the kid, I mean, let's hope that he's all right. I got bucked off a horse twice growing up, and one time I did bust myself up pretty bad, but yeah, I mean, it's usually nothing too big. I think it's honestly probably more traumatic for the horse, but also that's fucked up. Ugh. This is wild.
That someone would one do that to the animal, do that to the child that was riding.
Caroline Reed is the barn manager at Ocean View Stables, the barn that was hosting the kids' ride.
Even as like professional horse.
You know, Scott, I don't know if you're joking or not, but that's actually a pretty good question. Because I've thought about this. I actually thought about this. Like, what are these horses' rights? Like, what are the animals' rights, right? And when it comes down to it, they don't have any. And I think that when you're faced with a person who's got no rights, the last thing you should be doing is pulling their fucking tail or fucking with them. You know? Like, it's one thing to have to fucking control every living thing on earth, which is what humans love to do. But if you're going to do it, at least make their time peaceful. Like, Jesus. It's really wild. Like, they got no freedom of choice. They can't just fucking, I mean, they could try, but they'd probably break out of the barn and not know how to eat because they become dependent. It's really a fucked up kind of relationship. It's in no way symbiotic, and it's really sad because it's like, yeah, they got no rights. So why not treat them nice and not pull their tails? Yeah, she had no fucking business doing. Oh, you're being wise, Scott. All right. My dog has more rights. I mean, in this house, mine too. The Hugin, he controls us all. But yeah, no, she's old enough to know better. What they say, she was 29, 39. It doesn't matter. You're an adult. Don't do that shit. Yeah, I want to watch her court appearances too. Like, this makes me so mad. This makes me really mad.
People, we never just walk straight up to our horse from behind, no matter how well trained that horse is. That will startle anyone. That would startle myself if someone did that. So we were kind of just blown away that someone would ever do that.
You know what? That's a great point. I take it back. I was hoping for the best for that kid. I really still am. But like, yeah, Darlene's been bucked off 4 times, right? Knee blown out from hitting a sore spot, flung across the barn. Yeah. And you're great point. I stand corrected. Christopher Reeves did become paralyzed. That shit can fuck you up. Woo! First of all, if that was my kid, like, I don't know what it's like to love a child as my own, but I fucking love Hugin. If anyone pulled his tail, I'd go ape shit. But if that was my kid flying off the horse, oh my God, I would bite that woman. I'd bite the shit out of her. Hi, chick bait. Chic bait? Is it chic bait? You know people killed by horses? I've known people who have been kicked in the face by I'm sorry I laughed, but Clint, that was pretty funny. He got kicked in the head by a donkey. His eye was crossed forever. He laughed about it. I was horrified, but, you know. I've ridden horses since I was 7 and don't ever stand behind a horse. Yeah, don't touch it from behind. Don't fuck with it. Bless a bitch, right? What about the War Horse Memorial? What happened with the Warhorse Memorial? Chic like fashion. Yes, excellent. Fashion. Yeah, she'd be paralyzed if she did that to my... Yeah. Blucifer. Oh my gosh. Blue Chucifer? I'm sorry. Friend of mine died barrel racing a long time ago. Oh God. I have friends who barrel race. None of them died from it. Fuck. You know, if you fall the wrong way, though, I can see that. I can totally see that. That's what they warn you about all the time. They warn you about it. Never happened in my town growing up, but damn. I'm sorry for your friend. Animal's gonna animal. Yeah, if they land on you, you're done. Why was he knocked off a horse? What did he do to deserve it? This lady pulled its tail.
That to an animal.
Caroline says that day the young boy was riding Zeus, one of their most well-mannered horses.
Zeus is so beautiful. Oh, he got a fluffy belly. Oh, Zeus, you didn't deserve that. Look at your sweet curved spine. Oh, no. I hate this. He's got little patchy legs. Fire the barn manager. I'm pissed.
If you're a beginner, you usually get put on him first.
The kids' ride consists of a lap around Thornton Beach Trail. It's a trail that often has people from the general public walking on it. But Caroline says before this, walkers have always been polite to the riders.
They usually step aside when we're coming by. We ask people to step off the trail when we're walking by. And if you watch the video, they were standing to the side of that trail until we had passed. And then she came back around and pulled that tail. So we had no idea that that was going to happen. They were respectfully standing to the side in the beginning of that, which is what almost everyone does for us.
Caroline says once they saw the video, they called police.
So we met with them that night, filed that.
Hold on. Want to hear this, but what? Your uncle lost a nut from a horse kick. His nickname. Oh, Jesus. Zeus is a handsome boy.
Report again on Wednesday, February 26th. We talked to them again, just giving statements and kind of following up on the condition of the horse.
Caroline says the boy was able to get back on the horse after the fall and finish the ride.
Dude,
she says that he left with his parents that night after they declined medical attention. But police say the child did sustain injuries as a result of the fall. Officers arrested Panjong-Leon on March.
Oh, she got arrested, dude. Good. Fucking lock her up. Firing squad. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Darcy, thank you for being a new member.
March 1st, charging her with felony child endangerment. Caroline told us they were all relieved to hear that news.
Absolutely. We were just worried about that, her being out. We didn't know if she was going to come back and do that again to some.
Dude, this horse back here is trying to escape on the broadcast first. Yeah, she knows about a damn horse. I see that, Poncho. This horse is in the back is trying to escape actively. And that woman arrested, locked up. Bye. No bail. Yeah, it's all the rage now. It's all the throw the key away. I'll swallow it. I will swallow it. Millie Vecchino, are you on also love your glasses? Fuck. It's moments like this I wish I didn't get LASIK because I'm really loving the glasses game right now, everyone. But if you're on iPhone or Apple or whatever, that horse also, he's talking. Then it's a whole process. But I will post a link, but you have to basically go to youtube.com at Oblivious Benson. And then let walk it through. I think it's, you know what? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. I don't know because I don't use Apple, but people told me that there's no join button. I don't know what to do with that. And I'm sorry. And I love you and welcome. And that woman got a felony. I find this fascinating because I once lived on a property. A friend of mine that owned horses boarded them, ran horse riding school. Yeah. Horse riding school is like a big thing down south here in Texas. And like, you know, you can rent horses and shit. We used to play this shit called donkey basketball where you ride on a donkey and you play basketball and nuns chase you. And it's very scary. You sent me email. Excellent. Damn, Apple. I once saw a horse bite a lady's apple applique off her shirt. Applique? How is that? How do I say that word? On her shirt. But I think he knew it was it was you, wasn't it, Hudson? Don't blame the horse.
Somebody else.
Caroline says employees continue to walk the trails before rides to spot any potential issues. All of Ocean View's classes and trail rides remain open.
Tonight, a mother and father
Okay, this is the unfortunate news. If you guys don't remember, I'm going to go ahead and let this play, but we talked about Pius Deo last week, how his car was found within 5 miles of his parents' house after going out one evening after dinner. His car was found with the glass broken, his sneakers inside, blood on the window, the broken window, car abandoned. Couldn't find him. If you missed it, I'm going to play you what we watched, just the 2-minute quick news clip, and then I'm going to give you the update. And I'm sorry, it's not a good one. I'll warn you ahead of time, but I want to give you updates on it because I know a lot of us were like really worried about this kid. And I was looking into it pretty heavy. And I mean, I put a fucking Google ping alert on it and I wasn't seeing anything. And I checked today and it's a bummer, dude. I hope his family's okay. This is very sad, but let's go ahead and check it out. And Darcy, thank you for being a new member. This bums me out.
begging for help to find their missing son.
We thought somebody would have kidnapped him, probably.
19-year-old Pius Deo was last seen on February 8th when he left his parents' Clear Lake house. For the last 15 days, nobody has seen or heard from the University of Houston Clear Lake student. Well, this past weekend, we had a request pouring into our Click to Houston help desk asking to help find Pius. Gage Golding is speaking with his family tonight with her urgent plea for their son to come forward and to come home. He's live right tonight in Clear Lake with the very latest on the search. Gage?
Yeah, hey, Danny. The Pasadena Police Department, Texas EquiSearch, and Deo's family, they are all out looking for the 19-year-old man. But here's one thing that leaves them all scratching their head. His car was found about 5 miles away in Pasadena, yet his phone last pinged right here in his Clear Lake neighborhood.
We just started counting the days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days.
It takes a lot for Rahit and Seema Deo to sit down for this interview, tears filling this mother's eyes as they literally beg for help in finding their son.
Please, if you have seen Pius anywhere, just call police, just contact us and give us information.
19-year-old Pius Deo left home 15 days ago to hang out with friends on a Saturday night.
And he was telling us, I want to go out and I'll come back soon.
But he never came back. The next morning, his parents getting a call from Pasadena police. They found his car 5 miles away, but Pius wasn't around. Inside, blood staining the driver's seat and the driver's side window busted out.
We thought somebody would have kidnapped him.
They filed a missing persons report 2 weeks ago, and over the weekend, the Deos were among the nearly dozen calls for help sent to our Click to Houston help desk. Take a real close look here. Deo left the house wearing these red pants and white shoes, and you really can't miss this big tattoo on his left arm.
Do you have faith that Pius will come home?
Yes, we have faith. We are waiting for him every day.
Now, here's the very latest on the investigation. The Pasadena Police Department, they desperately need tips. They need something that could spark.
Okay, so here's what happened.
We are following some breaking news right now. The Harris County Medical Examiner's Office has released the cause of death for the missing University of Houston Clear Lake student whose body was found over the weekend. The autopsy reveals 19-year-old Pius Deo was shot twice, confirming that he was a victim of homicide. Pasadena police discovered his body near Dumas Street on Saturday, over 7 miles away from his home. Pius was last seen on February 8th. We've reached out to police for more details about any suspects. Stay tuned for updates on this developing story as more information becomes available.
Hey, thank you, Millie, for being a new member. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this, and we'll see about the Clear Lake vigil that they've had for him. But I am going to tell you, and I know a lot of you guys in here are from the Houston area, and this is sad and it is senseless. Remember, his car was found 5 miles away and it was crashed out in a intersection that was in a not so good neighborhood. And okay, well, you know what? Here we go. Sorry, Scott. Not tonight, bud. Slipped on my beans. Yeah, it's their baby. I don't think it's a hate crime. I mean, I have no reason to think it would be or wouldn't be. Could be. Anything's a possibility. I'm just gonna tell you my theory. I do think it was likely a carjacking. Again, I haven't seen the update, but I do think that Scott, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch, bud. Stop being you're being a pick-me girl right now. You need to chill. God. Yeah, digital forensics will be key in that. Yes, absolutely. And not only that, like, it's a situation where, like, this kid, he was his area of town, it's not a bad area. It's really not bad. But where his car was found, maybe not like the best part of town, but there has been a spike in hijackings, carjackings, if you will. Sorry, not hijackings, carjackings in Houston. I wish I don't know. I don't recall. It was a I believe it was silver. Yeah, no, I just kicked him because he just kept complaining about stuff that, like, it's taking away from the case. Like, if why show missing persons? Why look at dude, I don't know. Why are people worried about care? Because people need fucking justice. Like, if you don't like the content, you don't have to be here. It's that simple. I'm pretty nice usually, but, like, come on, man. We're in the middle of talking about this kid. Yeah, Scott, you know, so just quit it. God. We're trying to talk about a sensitive subject. I shouldn't be yelling at an adult man. Like, chill, dude. Have some fucking respect, Scott. Senseless violence, but yeah. And in Houston, there's been an uptick in carjackings. Same in Dallas. You know, yeah, it was found, but it was found busted. Like, the window was busted. There's blood on it. His shoes, this is the weird part. His shoes were on the floorboard, I believe, standing up next to each other. Like, they were placed there, which is very weird. But I'm willing to think above anything, if I had to guess, it's probably to be a carjacking, because that's something that happens a lot. Yeah, the shoes had blood on them. Like, it happens a lot, and, you know, it's such a bummer. And it's always for something stupid, like a joyride. It's like that. It's not worth it. And I'm sorry I have to give you guys this update, but this is what's going on. And I know a bunch of y'all, I got emails about this kid. Like, do you have any flyers? Do you know what's going on? Like, and this is just so sad. Yeah, we're about to find out. They have so far just said that they found him shot.
Dozens of people gathered at a vigil tonight to remember a University of Houston Clear Lake student.
19-year-old Pius Deo was found shot to death in southeast Houston last weekend. His family now trying to figure out who would do this.
So that's one interesting thing. I forgot about that. I did hear them say South Houston, but Southeast Houston. So that would mean that they likely drove around a little. I'm thinking because it could be in the neighborhood. They likely didn't drive very far, but basically, yeah, that's what I'm wondering, dude. He was found 7 miles from the car. Yeah, I think it was the other. I think it was, so if it was southeast, that means that they drove around, dumped him, and then came back and dumped the car closer to where they basically took him further away and then brought his car back closer to the original spot. Ugh.
This and why. Stephen Goins spoke with Deo's family at the vigil tonight. Stephen?
Lend me a lot of support for this family tonight. Just weeks ago, they were looking for a missing person, and now they're handing out these Justice for Pius flyers as they search for why someone would want to kill him. Together with friends and loved ones, candles in hand,
we come together not only in grief, but in unity.
The parents of Pius Deo, Rohit and Seema, mourning the loss of their son, just a teenager, a student at the University of Houston Clear Lake.
He was moving towards his doing finance and then moving to the...
Hold on, let's go back. That was the car. So if it, here's the thing, if it was a Kia, I would say, they would just steal it. You know what I mean? But because the glass was broken in the window, it does make me wonder, did someone get in the car with him shoot him from behind, maybe from the opposite, like the passenger seat in the back, hence the window being blown out, blood coming down onto the shoes. Someone takes over driving, they dump him, and then they dump the car. It just makes no sense. Like, I don't know. It's very strange. He wasn't like a rich kid. Apparently, he had saved up for his car. And he was a hard worker, but like, it's just so strange. And there are a lot of senseless carjackings there that do end up with a vehicle dumped and a body found. Like a lot. So, ugh. Yeah, you know what? One of the craziest stories I heard from EMTs, which I've heard a lot. Fucking Darlene has some. Actually, Darlene has the wildest ones. But one of my friends worked there, and I've heard multiple people say this, that like whenever there were gang shootings or something that happened, they would always try to cover them up because they weren't allowed to cut their clothes open basically until they got into the ambulance. I think we've talked about this before, because the other gangs could be watching and they'd see that as a sign of disrespect. And yeah, she had said that her and her boyfriend both like as EMTs, they were really scared. Yeah, that happened to you too. And then there was another lady that was in here that said the same thing, but she was from California. You had classes from the police. Oh, she didn't tell me that. She did. Dude, I'm going to ask her about that. I know that she worked on a show briefly after that in Louisiana where it was like, it's a show. I watched it. It's really good. It's like, it's not Night Watch, is it? It's these EMTs that are loose in Louisiana. And they're going crazy doing EMT shit. But yeah, she said it was much different in Louisiana than in Memphis. And in Flint, it's extremely different too. They actually have citizen police to deal with some neighborhoods because other police will be ran out of them. So they had to hire the elders, who are well respected by even the most gangiest of gangbangers, to get those kids in line. And it's really crazy and it's really sad because it's like, damn, dude. That like it's really crazy how there's parts of Houston and certain cities that you can go to. It's like it's a beautiful cultural hub, and then there's other parts where it's really fancy and you just see a ton of robberies and stuff. But then there are random places where you just don't stop at stoplights. You just don't. Like, because if you do, you're a target. I don't know. I can ask. I had a professor that worked with a dog bite expert, one of the best ones in the country, out of Dallas. And he was like, there are dog bite experts, and Dr. Russell's the best. Like, he knew about Dr. Russell. But I believe Reese or something is the doctor, the dog bite expert up north. Caldwell County, Texas? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, don't, like, if you're ever in Flint, Atherton and Fenton, those roads, just don't go there.
Just a teenager, a student at the University of Houston Clear Lake.
He was moving towards his doing finance and then moving to the master degree. At the same time, he was passionate towards his music.
A bright future taken away after Pius was found shot to death on March 1st in a field in southeast Harris County. The Harris County medical examiner ruled the death a homicide.
I thought, next day, I'll get some news. He must be somewhere.
Great question, Sunset. Cops, I know that one time I was in one of the wards in Houston and the cops yelled at me for stopping at the stoplight. And I've heard similar stories from all over the US where it's like the cops will tell you, what the hell are you doing? Go. Like, it's wild. In fact, I believe in one of the Flint documentaries, you do see a cop say that to someone too. Something similar to it. Like, you just go slow. You don't have to stop. There's a bunch of drive-through videos on YouTube driving through this city. If you go to the drive-through Gary, Indiana, or drive-through Skid Row, like, there are just all these different videos where you'll just see moments like that where they're like, what are you doing stopping at night? You know, they're not going to pull you over. They're going to, in St. Louis. There's a guy that goes up there and interviews people. It's like, I'm in the worst hood in St. Louis, blah, blah. And it's like a hype beast. And he rolls up and the cops are like, what are you doing? Why are you stopped? They'll pull you over to tell you, like, yo, you can't be stopping here. And it's wild. Like, I've never seen a cop like pull someone over to tell them, what the fuck are you doing? But they do it to this guy in this YouTube video. If I can find it, we will watch it one day. Oh, yeah, dude. Home of Darren Dion Van, in addition to Austin. Yeah, that place is fucking terrifying. Yeah, it's a question of, do you want to get shot in the head with a bullet or do you want a ticket? That's pretty much it.
He'll be coming home. That did not happen.
Weeks before his body was found, the 19-year-old went missing on February 8th, last seen with family. According to his parents, Pius left home that night and didn't say where he was going.
Okay, so he was already, so his family home, yeah. I thought, because Pasadena, I always get confused. This is going out towards Galveston. This is by NASA and all that shit. Well, you go further out than you're at NASA. But yeah, this is the southeast side. I wonder if he was found.
The next day, investigators found his car abandoned in Pasadena, about 6 miles away. The driver's side window was smashed, and there was blood in the front seat.
In this society,
okay, wait, go back to that map. So essentially, okay. So they either came this way and then went up 45 instead of going down towards Galveston. So they go up 45, body found, and then they dumped the car right here. So they were just doing a big loop with them. They would not go to Galveston Road, dump it this way, and then go back. They just wouldn't. And also, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of lights there. It's kind of easier to get on the freeway and speed. And yeah, that is a fuck you a street. This is wild. So they basically did a big C. They went bloop, 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 dumped his body, ditched the car. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is a carjacking joyride. Ugh. Damn.
In the front seat.
In this society, we don't know who bad people are there, but we have to be careful.
This family, now desperate to find answers about the final moments of Pius's life. Tonight, his father tells us he can still feel his son's spirit saying this.
I'm not.
Yeah, I remember they said that. But the thing is, he didn't really make it out of his neighborhood. Because his phone stopped pinging right as he left his neighborhood. So that makes me wonder if they shot him and grabbed him there right when the phone stops pinging. Because typically they'll, and you know what? If he had an iPhone, they probably stopped the phone or took the phone. Hence the pinging stopping. Ugh. This could be a carjacking robbery, maybe. Because if he's going to meet friends, so he's not driving his friends. I'm glad you brought that up again. I do feel awful for them. This is so sad.
Going anywhere. I want justice. Unless and until I get a justice, I'm not going to leave this.
Now, if you have information about this,
I think sometimes, so you know how there's corner boys on the wire? There's some parts of town, I mean, in every city in Texas, really, where like you'll see some corner boys, and you're stopped at a stop line and people will approach your car. And sometimes you don't know if they're asking for money or what. But there's also this thing that they do. There's two things that are going on. I should bring myself up for this one because you guys should be aware. Okay. One of the things that happens, and I'm not saying it's like this all over Houston. It's like this in almost every city where there's a shitty part of town or a high violence and trafficking and drug area. Exactly, Satan. Thank you. He finished my thought. Boom. There's two things that they do. Number one, they'll just be pulled up at a stop sign or a light. And you know how you used to do the thing where you jump out of your car and then you switch seats with someone and ha 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 ha. They'll literally, it looks like they're doing that, but then boom, they're in your car. They're pulling you out. They're putting a gun in your head. That's like a thing that they do. Most commonly, there will be a car in front of you stopped and someone will run out from that, or it'll be right next to you. And like a big thing is if a train's coming. Yeah, Chinese fire drill. I remember that. Yeah, that's what it was called. So it's like they'll hop out of a car and sometimes there's multiple ones. And it's like, what is happening? They're not going to surround your whole car, but usually it's like one or two. And then they'll just hop out and someone will carjack you and they'll all take off and you're just left there with your dick in your hand. The other thing that happens that's, it's really unfortunate and really crazy. It happens to a lot of women. Happened to my friend Courtney in San Antonio, and she is going to come on sometime to talk about it because this guy is a BCSO employee. He's a Bexar County Sheriff's Office. What do you call it? He was a correctional officer, and he was stalking women, and he chased my friend Courtney down at night, and FBI was fucking watching and intercepted. He pulled her over, basically fake cop lights. Now, this guy had real cop lights, but there are people who will buy lights to look like a cop, and they'll pull you over, and then they'll fucking have a buddy in the passenger seat come carjack you and take off. And in some instances, it's one guy, and he just pulls you out of the car and then takes you in his and assaults you. And it started happening a lot in San Antonio, and by a lot, I mean like more than 7 times. And people were saying, like, it's an urban legend, and it's not. Like, it was all over the news. They were confirming this happens a lot. And it started happening a lot in Austin in the last 5 years, and it's happened a lot in Houston. And so they were putting shit out on the news. In fact, I'll find some old news reports to show you from when they would post or they would play it here in Austin, like regularly. Like, if somebody is pulling up on you with cop lights, but you don't think it is a cop, be aware, cop cars look like this. There are no black Firebirds as cop, like stuff like that, because, even if it slightly resembled a cop, you have that inner moment where you're like, fuck, am I going to get like beat up or shot for evading an officer, or do I pull over? And especially if you're a female, you might feel vulnerable. It's the middle of the night. They said, especially if it's like out on dirt roads or out on the outskirts of cities. But yeah, that's been kind of a thing that's been happening here and there. And it seems to be picking up steam in addition to the, what was that other thing called that people were doing? Jugging, where people will follow you if they see you leaving a bank, they just follow you all around the city all day until you get to your final destination, and then they rob you. It's just really crazy. Yeah, I feel like the kid, I also feel like, yeah, he would just hand it over. But the problem is the gangs are getting really violent now. And in some instances, it's an initiation. Like what happened to me, I got attacked. It was an initiation. Like that was straight up, like they knew right away. And I was like, how? And there was like different things. Like if they try to fucking pull your pants down. But that I was a girl, like it's different. Guys, and depending on what gang it is and what city, man, the amount of them who it's like, oh, you just have to kill a guy. Again, Flint, their thing was, there was a guy who got shot in the head on a bike, and then he just disappeared, and then they found his bike. They took him off his bike after shooting him. And it was all part of an initiation. They just started shooting people on bikes. It was really insane. You like the live on jugging? I have a friend whose auntie got jugged. And she was talking about how, like, yeah, I was thinking about talking about it on the news, but I don't want everyone to see my face. Maybe I can get her to come on here and just hide her face. Your eldest son was an initiation. Oh, so awful. It's so senseless. And people have no idea, darling. People have no idea that shit happens still. They're like, initiation. Like, because everybody, especially now, there's all of the, there's a lot of stuff where like initiations are now frowned upon for like Greek life and all sorts of stuff. And it's just not really a thing. Even in high school, seniors, you're not fucking hazing anyone. Like hazing kills people. Shit, there was a Pullman, Washington case we were going to watch tonight, but didn't have room for it. It's a lot about a kid who got hazed, and it took years for the family to get justice because this kid ended up dying from it. So yeah, hazing and just the idea of initiations in general, I think that we forget that it's still a thing gangs do. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there are people who are like, initiation. I'm like, yeah, that's what gangs do. Sometimes you get jumped in. Sometimes the women they call it fucked in. where it's literally the whole gang assaults you and then you're welcome in. They call it getting effed in the bloods. That's what they mean. So like there's people who are really naive about that. They're like, oh, I had no idea. And another part of the process is if you don't want to do that, there's only one other choice. And that choice is you have to beat a bitch's ass, kill a bitch. You have to do this. You have to rob someone. Like they give you these stupid initiations. It's getting worse and worse depending on the gang. There are some gangs where you have to slice and dice someone. There's some gangs where you have to drop them and leave them. But in almost all of them across the board, you got to pull their pants down as a sign of disrespect. If it's like a dude. If it's a girl, it's iffy. Again, depends on the gang. And some of them, you have to do other stuff. And take their car. Whoop their ass, take their car, take their shoes. It's really shocking. It's really shocking. One of my best friends was killed while outside a college party, and a guy being initiated drove by and just shot out of his car. Yeah, drive-bys were the big thing in the 90s. I'm sorry about that. That's so sad, dude. We had a drive-by at our house when I was a little kid, and I didn't understand it, but like gang culture was bad. They used to spray paint our swing set. That's why we had to move out of the city. It's just crazy. Like they're getting out of hand. Whew. Hello, Lori Marie. Hello. Okay, let's finish this up. It was in the 90s, right? That was a big thing in the 90s. Drive-bys were huge in the 90s. And unfortunately, they're making a comeback, specifically in San Antonio. It's bad. It's like the 90s all over again. San Antonio. And then we moved out to the country. Yeah, because they fucked up our swing sets. They put Puro Ocho on all the shit. They drew Latin Kings shit. It's like, what do? Fucking move. They shoot through the windows? Woo! And they don't give a fuck who they hit. It's just like, shoot someone. Ooh, it's horrible. It's horrible. There's a kid in San Antonio who just shot up like a funeral. He just ran around town shooting in random yards, shot up a grandma and her kid, gets put on an ankle monitor and given bail, does it again. This was around the time Savannah Soto was happening. Kid's a fucking serial killer, and they let him out with an ankle monitor. He bought more guns, did it again. It's fucking crazy.
This case, call the Pasadena Police Department and tell them what you know. Any details, no matter how small, could be what investigators need to identify and catch a suspect. We're live in Southeast Harris County. Stephen Gowen, KHOU 11 News.
Okay. Oh, this is the one that... No, we're going to watch this on another day. Also, Matthew Shepard's mom came to my college at UNT, and
now tonight,
because Fred Phelps showed up to protest. He got pelted with pink paintballs. That was fun, watching him run away. But yeah, Matthew Shepard, dude, big time. That was a straight up hate crime, though. That was horrible. And that was around when that shit was happening in Vidor and Jasper, I believe. Whew. Oh, the 90s were wild. All right, this next one I had to show you because it's a college student. She's missing in the Dominican Republic. I don't know if there are any kids in the Dominican Republic who watch this channel, but I do know that some of you guys travel, and some of you are going to Aruba, some of you are going to the fucking Dominican Republic. Yeah, dude, by the way, the people who whooped my ass had ankle monitors. Guess what that did? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. What are they're, dude? They're everywhere. It's really crazy. Yep. They'll get out same day. They don't care. And sometimes the cops just they're like, oh, damn it. And then they just take them in, and then what? They don't go to court for a year? Ugh. So crazy. Yeah, she's from your area. This one made me really sad, dude. Immediately, I'm so stupid. I'm thinking about Natalie Holloway and stuff. I realize it's not the same place. It's the Dominican Republic. It's actually extremely different. But there was a kid in Austin. I think he got his ass beaten, murdered. Or he got nearly beaten to death in the Dominican Republic. And it was like a big deal. It was like at some party bar. And they were like, he was being a dick. But it was a huge deal. And it's like, oh, non-consensual nap. Oh my God, you got drugged there, dude? Yeah, we should talk about that sometime if you're up for it. Like just in general. Yeah, we'll go to Luling. I might have to be going to the Dominican Republic at the end of the year, and I'm not excited about it. For work, and it's gonna suck for comedy shit, and it's I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, can we go to Puerto Rico, please? Dude, totally. Going to Vegas is just like the Dominican Republic. You lose all your money and you don't know what happened. So let's see what happened to her and what's going on with her. And if any of you guys happen to be in the Dominican Republic, going to the Dominican Republic, know a guy or a girl in the Dominican Republic, if you got a gay cat in the Dominican Republic, I don't know. But, share this. This is bothersome. Some people think that she just went swimming and drowned. I don't know.
A frantic search in the Dominican Republic for a missing 20-year-old woman from Loudoun County. Officials say she was walking on a beach early Thursday morning and has not been seen since. Fox 5's David Kaplan is live in Loudoun County for us tonight. David, walk us through what you've learned.
Yeah, Julie, good evening to you. Loudoun County's Sheriff's Office tells Fox 5 Sudiksha Konanki was in the Dominican Republic with 5 other friends. All 6 of them are students at the University of Pittsburgh. Want to put on your screen a little bit of a timeline just to bring you viewers at home up to speed on what we know. 5 a.m. on Thursday, Konanki was last seen walking on the beach near the resort where she was staying in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Thursday night, Konanki's family reported her missing to the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, the Sheriff's Office making calls after that. Then early Saturday morning, the Dominican Republic's Civil Defense, in coordination with other agencies, began a search, which restarted and continued again at 6 a.m. today. The Civil Defense has posted pictures and video of this search, which features teams of people appearing to scour a beach. Today, video of a helicopter taking part in this search as well. A poster with Konanki's picture being shared all over social media. Friends, strangers, all posting it with the hopes of bringing Konanki home. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office says that Konanki is an Indian citizen, and it is the Indian Embassy in the Dominican Republic that is working closely with the U.S. State Department on the ground as this search is active and ongoing. In a statement, the University of Pittsburgh said that they are offering their full support to bring her home. Fox 5 will be staying on this story all night, working to continue learning more developments. If we have anything new to share, we'll bring you the latest, starting at 7 o'clock on Fox 5 Plus and 10 o'clock on Fox 5. Julie?
He seemed in just a completely different mood than he was leading up the agitation.
Nope, not ready for that yet, silly goose. Okay, hold on. Why is it doing this? Why does it do this? I'm going to write to StreamYard. I recorded my taxi ride from my hotel to the airport, and holy fucking shit, I have become more R-worded as the cab ride goes on. Oh, no. There was a young lady that had that happen to her, and her boyfriend at the time was sending the videos to her mother back in the States. And then a stranger just appears in the videos and he's like, I'm with your daughter. I'm her friend. Ha ha ha. And he doesn't even speak the language of where they are, let alone hers. And he's got a very thick accent. She's like, who is that? And then her daughter disappears forever. And they don't give a fuck. And she kept saying, like, I think my daughter was drugged. I think my daughter was drugged. And all I've been seeing on the news lately is all these resorts where people get drugged. And women end up dead or beaten and assaulted. There's been a rash of them in Mexico. Is it Punta Cana or Punta Gorda? I always have to say it like Peggy Hill. One of those places, there was a couple that happened. There was the women in the Bahamas who went off with some guys and, they had one drink and then I think their ship left. Ugh. Yeah, it's basically Why Lotus shit. Oh, that's awful, dude. I'll look into that. I'm going to look that up. And then there was another one where, Oh shoot, I can't even remember exactly where it was, but it was it was a long time ago. Tara Colicchio, that case. Oh, that one bothers the shit out of me. Because the bassist from the band on the ship that she was last seen with does run a sex trafficking site. I wasn't allowed on the plane back home. Oh. Because you were too fucked up. I saw a viral video of a lady who got drugged and was too fucked up to go back home. Hers was after a cruise. And then there was one lady that was just too fucked up because she had a layover. And she was riding around on her luggage. Like how they have the luggage that goes, and she ran from the police sitting on her luggage. It was actually pretty funny. Yeah, I don't fuck with cruises, man. I don't like boats. I don't need to be in a floating thing with water in it and then people who are made of water while on the water. Like, I don't need that much liquid in my life. It's too wet. I'm fine. I don't need that. I don't need sharks near me. I'm good. I don't want to be chum. Always bothered me too, dude. But they got him, though. Vander salute. Dude. I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, the ocean is not my fucking business. I don't need to know what the ocean's been saying about me, and I don't need the ocean to know. That's the ocean's business. Fuck cruises. Fuck rogue waves. You got wasted in LaGuardia, NYC, dude. Wasted people trying to get on a plane. It's a lane on YouTube. I highly suggest it. It gets wild, the shit they say. And honestly, there used to be a show, dude, the way people act who work at the airline. My friend works at the airline. She's out of pocket as fuck. Misty, if you're listening to this, girl, she got Farrah Abraham's luggage once. It was left behind. It was in the Lost and Found from Teen Mom. And she put on her coat. And she wore her fur coat around the office and went, I'm Farrah. I'm Farrah. And I'm like, girl. Holy shit. The ocean does talk mad shit, dude. If you put your ear up to a seashell, the ocean will tell you to go fuck yourself. Fact. Okay. So we have to wrap it up because I do have to go soon. Cocktails pre-boarding. I always wish I could have cocktails. They can't. I just want the tiny little jar. I'm like, just empty it in someone else's mouth and give me the little jar. Salute to sausage. Love that. Love that. Tulips for Scott, I guess. Okay. Bryan Kohberger inside the audio? Idaho. Inside the Idaho murders. They've been running a series in Seattle and Washington because Pullman, proximity, friendship. Teen Mom Night will be soon. I've been working on some stuff. Do you remember how Leah used to cheat on Corey? And that's why their first marriage didn't work? Because she immediately cheated with what's his name, Robbie? Well, guess what happened to Robbie? Registered sex offender. Wanted. Again. Poor Leah, dude. Doomed from the start. Corey wasn't a bad guy. Corey was not a bad guy. Amber, they thought she killed her boyfriend for a while. That was crazy. Janelle, have they found Jace? Is Janelle back with Jace? She shouldn't be. Yeah, we're going to do Teen Mom Night soon because those bitches are out of pocket, dude. Out of pocket as hell. Ooh. So they've been running this series in Washington about the Idaho murders. Wait, what? I call my biofather with whom I had cut off all ties with a decade prior from the fucking... That is worse than a drunk dial. Oh my God. The worst is when you're no contact with someone and then you call them by accident. Don't butt dial the auntie who hates you. Don't do that. Okay, so in Washington, they've been running this series. It's part 2 of the Idaho murders. It does have some stuff in it that I know that it's been released in court docs. but I'm still getting through those. I'm about 2/3 of the way through. Yikes. I am working backwards. I basically completed all of 2025 and then a little of 2024 and a little bit of 2022. But there's not much of 2022, but there's still like, there are bulk docs that are more expansive in 2023. Whew, it's going to take a minute. There's less documents, but they're in bulk. There's like lots of pages. So with that said, Ironclaw. Yeah, it's going to be a minute. But from what I've read and all of the evidence that's been laid out so far, the hints, if you will, without making assumptions, I was trying to take notes on things that like we know for sure, actual evidence, or at least what they're going to presume is not just motions thrown at the wall by the defense, because they're fucking trying to make anything stick. Fair enough. That's what they're supposed to do. But it's getting overwhelming. It's a little ridiculous, quite frankly. Don't call me frankly. But I think that this is a pretty, like, I saw some of this, not all of it. And when they mentioned one or two things, I went, they know their shit. I'm interested in watching this. Let's watch it with the kids. Because I do know, one of my friends told me that they do mention some things in here that are in the reports that's not necessarily widely known. Like, I don't see a lot of people talking about, and it's very new. This is brand new from like 2 or 3 days ago. Let me double check. It is, I'm sorry, 5 hours ago. Though episode 1 is from 2 or 3 days ago. This is episode 2, so this is 5 hours ago. This is the update where they start getting into some more details, and you get to hear from one of the other parents of the kids, and don't call me Shirley Chic bait, but Shirley Chic. That's a good club name. Okay, so let's watch this. Let's watch it together. I was like, let's just watch it together. It's 20 minutes. I'm going to try to shut up for a lot of it. I'm only going to pop in if I have something super important to say, but I want to hear your discussions on this stuff, because it is, I'll be in the chats. I want to know what you guys think. This is tripping me out. Some of the angles that are popping up on you, the Free Bryan people they are out of it. Oh my God. Wow. We've given up completely. Like, Kelly Siegler prosecuted entire strong circumstantial cases and got convictions with good evidence. It is wild to me how people disregard very obvious shit because they have some weird, like, jail fascination with trying to, like, bang a guy who killed people. It's so weird. I mean, I cannot believe there are still channels that blame Kelsey German for her sister's fucking like, people are so stupid. It's really fascinating. I could study them like they are the zoo. Anyway, let's watch this. And see. Let's see what they got to say.
When you thread the maze of information about Bryan Kohberger.
Hold up. What do you mean? They had over 100 cops. They wore all the booties. They did all the forensic stuff they were supposed to do. They did a 3D crime scene scan. Like, literally the most top of the line shit. They got the FBI, the Secret Service, Idaho, Pennsylvania, Pullman police all in line. There were 100 people working on the crime scene, but they were head to toe booties, and they went in one at a time, and they carefully brought stuff out covered while wearing gloves. Like, I don't think I've seen a more secure crime scene of that magnitude in a long time. They found a glove on the lawn, though. Big whoop. That's the thing everyone's upset about. Here's the thing. Glove wasn't there the day of the crime because you could see it on camera. It looks like that was left by one of the crime scene people. I'm just concerned. What did they cut corners on, though? Very interested. And with 50-50, they tore the house down. Why? They kind of had to tear the house down because here's the thing. The the amount of blood that was in it, there are a couple of things that can cause your house to get torn down, people. Anybody building Anybody building dynamite, meth, and too much blood. Also, a ton of cats and hoarders can get that done. But you would likely have to tear it down because lots of blood. And they sprayed a shitload of luminol all over that thing. You're just a stickler for... No, totally. I'm just concerned because I've heard people say cutting corners, and I'm like, I just haven't seen anything that was, anything that, I mean, I fucking watch that thing like a hawk. I'm curious where they cut corners because I've seen other people say that. I'm like, what are they talking about? Where? Because this shit was on lockdown, dude. It was on lockdown. Should have left it up, but they don't need it though. They did 3D mapping of the whole thing from inside. So in case you guys don't know, Duty Ed was talking about this. They go in and they do the full. They medvac. They did the full 3D crime analysis with every single particle rendered. But the way they went about getting warrants for evidence and searches, well, they didn't need... The FBI actually has a clause if it's a bulk murder, if it's terrorism, and if it's child sex crimes, they don't need the same warrants. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Daniel. I don't think it is at all. It was just genetic genealogy. That's it. Like, the issue isn't the physical DNA. Like, it's there. It's on the class. The issue is, I mean, it's not even chain of custody. It's just the methods, but those methods have been used in countless trials. I mean, CeCe Moore was just talking about it yesterday. Over 100 trials in like the last 3 or 4 years where they've been able to connect people through genetic genealogy, and it was 100% flawless. Like they literally the closest you can get in humanity to a person, proven, just like Rex. No, totally. But I mean, the best way I can explain it is like, let me put it this way. There's a crime scene right outside my family's window that a lot of horrible shit happened at, and the entire town wanted it gone because it was creepy as fuck, and it actually wasn't really helpful or healthy for anybody. So I can see why those students are like, can we get rid of this? Because thousands of people are coming a day and parking on the lawn, and Nancy Grace is outside screaming. Like I would not only tear down the house, I would tear down Nancy Grace. Just my thoughts. Why would they? It was ice cold. He was wearing gloves. I mean, the clasp is likely from when he purchased it, and also his Amazon search history where he bought the K-bar knife, him looking at the K-bar knife, and his digital forensics with the Bluetooth connecting him to the house on 12 occasions. Like, I can't be swayed in this one. It is 100% like there's so many dirty, filthy fucking sites this dude was on. Holy shit. And he followed the victims ahead of time. Like, there's just so much. I mean, to me, one spot of DNA on a clasp under a body done, but adding all that digital evidence, okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, it was a circus outside, but luckily the crime happened inside. And it wasn't really a circus because they were able to get all the tire tread marks and prints done without the kids who were in the driveway who reported it were covered in medical blankets. And none... Okay, here we go. Watch this. Watch what everybody say bye to Scott. Bye, Scott. Anyway, damn it. Homie needs attention. Yeah, they did everything before the kids had even left. And they didn't even trample on the fucking ground. The evidence is on the K-bar knife, on the clip. His DNA. And also technically you could say the video evidence of his car. There's just so much. Don't worry, we'll go through it. Let's watch this, and then we'll go. Daniel, trust me, we're going to do a lot of deep dives on this one. A lot of deep dives. Also, that guy had terabytes of evidence, and I can't wait to see that. Yeah, they were med blankets, dude, and the neighbor saw them. And the other neighbor was the one standing there with Hunter, who just saw his well, he didn't. He saw Xana laying down in the hallway and didn't go past her because he was freaked out. You can see it. They released enhanced footage of it. In fact, you can run it through 6 AI apps right now. It'll tell you the exact car, and it comes down to Bryan's. And I posted them, Daniel. You remember, you can see it in the OSINT cheat sheet. Those are actually the exact ones that you can run the car through from the enhanced picture, and it links directly up to his car. And one of them was made by the top guy who invented that shit. Like, he was the guy who helped create the database for FBI cars. But yeah, let's watch this. Let's see what they have to say, because there's a lot here.
Kohberger and the Idaho murders. You can easily get tangled up in speculation. Like, could his criminal justice studies help him get away with murder? The answer lies partly in Pennsylvania. There are detours and dead ends, like the route cops say Kohberger drove the night of the stabbings.
No, Daniel, enhance, like you enhance videos. Like, you can enhance videos to make the pixels less grainy. You can, like, up the quality depending on the processor that you have. It's like what Abby did. And you can also see them and see if they've been doctored. They haven't. It's just straight up the car. They're just enhanced because they were put on a server that was crammed with a ton of space, and they were played through some shit with a shitty codec through a police department. When right now, iPhones can do way better. So they basically just pulled it, uploaded it through an iPhone, and got way better footage. That's what I think happened, because it does look like it was ran through basically the same type of player that, let me just put it this way. iPhone, hate them, but they do have the best video quality. And there are a couple of different apps that run through a player on iPhone that has this built-in codec structure that can, like, tighten up anything. And it's not like, all it does is literally hone in on the shadows and pull them up so that you can see things like impressions. And then they take that and they raise I almost said DDP. Holy shit. They can enhance to 300 DPI or higher for the screen. They tried to do with Abby and Libby, but because it was a picture of a screen, that made it really terrible. Yeah, I think the back button is poorly placed too. I think so too.
To look at stars or hide the knife. Of the victims, Xander Kernodle, Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, and Ethan Chapin. It's Ethan who would have graduated this May. Ethan's triplet siblings, also U of I students, will walk.
Oh yeah, Daniel, I can see that, but like not all of them are corrupt, you know? And I mean, they, like, so far, the Idaho PD has a pretty good reputation. It seems that they have had, like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 in the last decade. What the fuck? Why isn't this solved yet? And 2 run-ins with meth heads that didn't go so well, and a couple of missing kids whose family members were rich and got them really great fucking lawyers and pulled them out of school after they may or may not have contributed to student death, which is actually pretty good for a big-ass college town. Their clearance rate isn't bad. They actually have one of the best labs in the country. They do have a shit medical examiner. She sucks. But to be fair, are you talking about, wait, are we talking about, are you talking about Pullman? Or are you talking about this specific place? Moscow. Because to be fair, like, almost every, like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to say every, but almost every police department gets sued by the ACLU multiple times. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I just, with that, like, the 3D renderings that they get, it's so fucking specific, they just don't need it. You know what I mean? And also, it's they can't really hold the entire house as evidence from the landlord. You know, those people live, think about it this way, they're probably paying their mortgage off that rent. I know that's not really fair or whatever, but if they got all the tests that they need, they've got a 3D mapping perfect down to the fucking 10th of an inch of everything. Like, 1,000th of it, like a literal perfect rendering. The shit that they have that they used was amazing. It does make me wonder, because I know Pullman's kind of fucked up. Not gonna lie, Pullman's a little fucked up. Moscow, it seems, I mean, I really didn't count that many crazy cases with, like, there wasn't really a lot of corruption there that I could see. If anything, they do a lot of student cop programs, which is hilarious. Oh, I see. So it was the uni. Is that why people are pissed off? Okay. They had no other attorneys anywhere. So in Idaho, because their justice system is so decrepit, they had to bring in special public defenders like Ann Taylor. And I think it's just because they're small and they have a shitty budget. It's like mostly farming community. That's why I don't get why everyone's like up their ass so much. Because it's like, it's a really tiny town. Like, they put it this way, one of the biggest mass shootings in history happened in my town, and it took 25 minutes for the cops to get there. It was a fucking mess. But like, there are no police in our town. Like, we didn't have, like, they're in the next town. And Moscow reminds me of that, but with a college in the middle of it. It's actually a lot like Denton, but Denton has a fuckload of cops. Yeah, I think the whole people trying to see the murder house freaked everyone out. But also, now that you're saying it's the university, if the university owned it, I do love getting mad at big education. If anything? You know what's interesting, though, is that teacher. I feel so bad for that teacher. The one who got, she sued the chick on TikTok. You know, that woman is still not fucking giving up. She's still up that teacher's ass trying to blame her, saying she had a love triangle. So the private owners did give it to the college. I feel bad for them. Yeah, I'm getting mad at Big Education. I'm getting mad at Big Ed. This is Big Ed's fault. Who's the head of the education department now? Is it Linda? I'm going to go yell at her. What a nut.
Without him. To get through it all, Ethan's mom, Stacy, has been clinging.
You know what? Maybe you guys are right. Didn't own it. It was off-campus housing. Okay, if the university owned it, I'm mad. If the landlord owned it, I get it. If it's off-campus housing, what are we doing?
To a thread of hope, his smile. Shiro Matsuzawa has her story.
You know, moments ago, you were just showing me photos in your phone of Ethan. What was that like for you?
You know, it's both. It's kind of bittersweet. It's, you know, there's so much, it's always nostalgic to go back and look at the pictures of him. And at the same time, it's always this just harsh reality that he's, you know, honestly no longer with us.
What do you miss most about him?
Oh,
Okay, let me ask you guys this question. Let's do this. What? I thought it was a couple. I thought it was a dude and his wife. I'm going to have to look into that. Did they buy it from a sex offender? Yikes. I'm going to look into that. Damn, for real? Okay, well, I'll look into it. I thought it was a man and his wife. Nice blonde lady with a bob. That's what I remember, but I'll go back and check. I want to ask you guys a question, though. If you were, let's just say the landlord. If you were the landlord, this was your house and this happened. And they come to you and they go, you want to leave it up or you want to get rid of it? It's all up to you. Knowing what happened there, you own it. Any public disturbances from Nancy being on the lawn, that's on your ass now. So let's just say it's your house, you fucking own it. And they come to you and they go, the community wants you to tear it down. And you say, what? Not even that. They say, what do you want to do? You want to tear it down or keep it up? What do you do? Deport her? No. Do you leave? You're the landlord. What do you do? Do you leave it down? Leave it up, or do you tear the house down? What do you do?
Hugging him in his blue Patagonia coat. I have said, I think it's one of the things I said from the very beginning. He had this blue Patagonia coat he always wore, and I loved to hug him in it.
What was it like the last time you saw him?
We were at Parents' Weekend. It was the best weekend ever. Jim and I have talked about that a million times. We drove out of Moscow that day, and we were like, we've done a good job here with these kids.
Yeah, dog, that's what I'm trying to say, Satan. I'm like over here like, really? You guys want to keep it? Okay. Feels like not a good place to look at. I would be scared moving my daughter or son into their new college apartment. Think about this. Think about all the realtors who got to show those apartments, all the apartment locators that are like, and right over there, you can see that's where the kids got married. That's where the bloodstains are. It feels weird. It feels weird.
Stacy Chapin spoke with us at her friend's house.
We bring up the things we have to talk about.
2.5 years of public attention since the murders has left her protective of her family's privacy. It's been 1.5 years since her last major interview, and there are some topics that are still too sensitive to talk about, like the night of the murders.
I think a lot of people are wondering just how you and your family are doing, right? I guess, how are you doing day to day right now?
Thank you. I want you guys to think of this, because this is what happened across the street from our house. Think about the conspiracy theorists, because they do camp out, okay? Conspiracy granny and the other guy, yeah, they will come to your house and they will scream that it was a false flag. Okay, so they're outside your apartment screaming that at the house. All right, then you got ghost hunters, then you got Nancy, then you got Gray Hughes creeping around. And then there's blood seeping on the outside. What do you do? What do you do as an owner? What do you do? I'm not saying I know they gave it to the uniform. I'm saying if you're the owner, it's up to you. They already have it scanned, 3D scanned with everything in it. Everything in it, every particle tested, 3D scanned, heat, infrared, everything. Photographed to fuck. 360 degrees. What do you do?
I honestly would say
Coffindoffer in the fucking bushes. What do you do?
overall, we are doing exceptionally well under the circumstances. It's tough. I mean, I would be lying if I did not tell you that there's moments still, probably maybe every day, every couple of days, where it kind of blindsides you. It takes you down a little bit, and you just have to have a moment, and but then you have to pull on your whatever.
It's not just gray though. It's not just gray though, you guys. It's gray. It's JLR. Okay. It's probably fucking Dollywood or whatever the fuck his name is. Bullhorn bullshit Betty. She's coming. Nancy's going to be there. Fuck it. The Aussies are there. Everybody's going to this house. Right? They're all going, and they're going constantly. Then you got the blood. Then you got the lore, right? Okay. All of this stuff is happening. Yeah, and I would encourage everybody to go listen to Duty Ed and Duty. That's a good point. Yes, absolutely. They can do everything. They literally have like Hollywood level shit, dude. It's crazy. So, question is, the cops have already trust me when I tell you, top of the line for like the shit that they couldn't even train us on it in my classes because it was in beta and it was working flawlessly. Like they're constantly doing updates on the 3D scanning. Like it's fast like Cellbrite, just constantly. Like you can walk through the house. It's not like some shit you would see on a YouTube channel either. It's not like even Microdots is great, right? But it's not even like that. It's like virtual reality headset. Everything looks exactly as it is. That is what we're working with here. So they already have that. There's no need for the house. So I'm asking you, yes, and blood ran down the exterior wall. So I'm asking you in all seriousness, this is your house now. You got JLR coming. You got Dolly coming. You got all the conspiracy theorists coming. You got the blood on the outside. You got Nancy Grace. You got Gray Hughes in the bushes. You got Jen Coffindoffer on the ring cam. What do you do? Do you keep it? Do you tear it down?
Whatever boots, I call my big girl pants, whatever. And I mean, you just have to move forward. You have to.
You just mentioned Maisie and Hunter.
Mhm.
I mean, you were telling me off camera, they're getting ready to graduate in May and their futures, are starting. Kind of talk about how they're doing specifically and what's next for them.
My gosh, they just amaze me, to be honest. I'm
here all this time. I thought LiDAR scanning was to scan men to see if they're lying to you. I'm so sorry.
I mean, let's be honest. Triplets, they could have they could have fallen off and we would be rescuing them, but they have just persevered.
May 10th. Obviously, that's a big day for you.
Yeah.
But do you also prepare,
I don't know if I'm prepared for it. See, you got me on that one. I don't know. It's going to be a tough day. It's a day, honestly, that Jim and I we just have to be parents that day. We have to be parents
So
to Maisie and
lovely.
Hunter. We have to. It's the most important thing. They have achieved this incredible goal. Yeah, there's a silent, tough day coming. Yeah.
So we were talking off camera about the trial. I know in the past, you've said that you wouldn't attend, but now you're kind of reconsidering. Is that correct?
We have been adamant about saying we would not attend, and it's funny as we get closer to the trial. All I can explain it like this. I just feel this impending storm that's coming, and we're reconsidering, is what I would say at this point. And as the hearings get closer and more information comes out, and it's just made us rethink. You have to think about the kids who, like in our case, Ethan, who can't be there, obviously. And then you have to think about, well, who's going to be there to represent him? And so we've had to have some really tough conversations about maybe we need to reconsider this.
There are major logistical challenges. Last year,
If that is a good point, but I would ask you why. You know what I mean? Like with the audio, because it would all be literal hearsay in trial. The witnesses only get to describe what they heard, but they don't really get to recreate that, so to speak. But there's very weird, by the way, look up the rules for the juries going to crime scenes there. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. And you have to account that, okay, let's say you could go there and you could yell through the walls and they could test it, right? How are you going to account for the fact that they don't know what other sounds were going on? Was a TV on? You know what I mean? Were people partying next door? Was the dog barking? Like, there's all these things the defense could bring up. So the auditory part of it, it's not even in any of the motions, and they could easily recreate it by they have a 3D scan. They know exactly what the fucking insulation is, what the walls are made out of. They could just recreate it and test it if it was that big of a deal. But I don't think they're concerned with the audio because they have, in this case, and again, that is a great point. And I would agree 100%, but I do think that they're only admitting audio from the nearby security cam that caught the dog bark and then the witness statements. See, that's the thing, is I'm not sure that I don't know that they will. They're all different. And it's every state is different. And it's interesting because, okay, like in the OJ case, here's something crazy. And I bet a lot of you might already know this, but in the OJ case, there were concerns between the prosecution and the defense that the house had too many pictures in it of African-American people. They didn't want to bias the jury. So they were talking about getting rid of the pictures, like the family pictures, and like literally redoing the house. Like they were going to put it up for sale. And when they did finally put it up for sale, that was another issue because they said that it could depreciate the value because we still live in a very racist society. And it's very crazy because there was this whole like NPR thing about staging houses for real estate. They brought it onto the true crime level and they said straight up, like, there are people who stage houses for juries, like for like old houses where crimes happen, death houses, where it's like we have to stage it exactly like it was, or we have to, make this picture go away. They can't see a private picture because it could prejudice them. So it's very interesting because it's not like that in Texas. But also, there's different rules. Are they allowed to walk on the lawn? Are they allowed to go inside? Are they allowed to touch anything? Like, it all comes down to so many like arguments. I think it would, really, it's kind of a lawyer's call on this one. Like, what do they think is best for their case? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because, again, it's so, like, I cannot encourage you guys enough to watch Duty Ed and Duty Ron talk about this. And Duty Ed, anytime he's talking about 3D printing of the crime scene, like, he teaches the classes on how to do that. He trains people on that. And like Mitty said, it's so insane. It's like those, we got to wear one at a seminar where they bring it was where we got polygraphed. You put it on your head. It's like that VR shit where you see like a dad and he's doing VR and then he falls backwards and gets scared because it's so real to him. Like, that's how fucking real they are. And they don't look like cartoons. Like, it looks like a real room. And I remember putting it on and it was a suicide because they're showing you an actual crime scene. And I was like, oh my God, like I didn't expect it to look real, like the body and stuff. And it was a real crime scene photo. Like it was really from a crime scene. And they can put it on this set. You can look at it like that. Like it's fucking crazy. And they do 360 imaging of every single room, but they can also like tell what can put, like if somebody smoked meth or weed in the house, it's like they can do the mold test stuff. They can do all sorts of shit and tell you exactly what's on the walls with certain kinds, or if there's an ethanol material or something flammable on the walls in the paint, like lead. It's fucking bizarre. Like they can do some crazy scans. It's so cool. I want Ed to do like an extended one on that stuff because it's really fucking fascinating. But yeah, it's I just don't think that they need it. I don't know. But at the same time, I don't know why they wouldn't let them walk through if they wanted to, but they haven't even gotten a trial yet. Like this is so crazy how long it's taking. Whew. Well, it's not about the expense. They like it's anytime the FBI and Secret Service get involved in anything involving extractions or 3D imaging. And Mike, he talks about it a lot too. I can't remember Mike's last name right now, but he rules. Mike King. The geo mapping and shit like that, the geo fencing data, like all of the stuff that they can do with extractions, checking for specific areas where there's patterns, and then actually seeing physical links through both circumstantial and physical evidence through a real life crime scene is so fucking wild. I mean, they're using a lot of it on the Mr. Cruel case right now, and I'm very interested. Mike Hunt. I always say King. It's Hunt. Yes. How dare you? It's King. Did you fuck me again? You pronked me. It is King. This is why I don't second guess myself. This is why I don't second guess myself. Mike Hunt. Nice try, Clam. Nice try, Clam.
To get a bigger jury pool, the case was moved from North Idaho to Boise.
Wait,
300 miles away or more.
Was that even Clam? That wasn't even Clam who did that. Was that you, Clam? Who did that? I did say Mike Hunt. Who did that to me? That was Sherlock Ho? I'm sorry you got blamed, Clam. I'm sorry you got blamed. You know what? Fuck that. Clam, you're grounded too. You support her too much. You're all in trouble. You're all grounded. Was it Toombs? You're in trouble too. I said, you know what? Maybe that sounds right. Mike Hunt. Nope, she's right. And then I went, nope. That's why that's familiar, because I'm saying Mike Hunt. No, it was Mike King. How dare you? And he has a very soft voice. He's like, oh, well, today we're gonna do. I love his voice. Oh, I love his voice. Okay, I have to play this.
The victims' families, and the trial is expected to last 3 months. Then there are the emotions.
Talk to me about Bryan Kohberger. When you hear his name,
I can't even say his name. I don't.
Is that something that you're also weighing into your consideration? I mean, you'll have to see him.
Yep. Because the thought of that is tough, sitting in that room. Yep.
How do you even prepare for something?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know. How do you prepare for that? If anybody has an answer out there who watches this tonight, let me know, because I don't know.
Yes, chasing evil. You're all grounded.
I honestly don't know. I trust that I have thought about it from every direction. How do you walk into a courtroom and sit, other than to go in and be desensitized to it, so that you kind of know exactly what you're up against, where he sits, what the judge looks like, what the courtroom looks like. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly.
Are you concerned at all that the fate of what happens to him, though, lies in the hands of these potential jurors?
No.
You know what? Mike hunting evil. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, don't freak out. They're troublemakers. No, I speak to you now. I'm mad at all of you. You all saw me do that and you let it happen. You let her prank me. I'll remember this date.
I guess I just really honestly have to say that you just have to trust the system. I worry about a lot of things. Trust me. But that isn't one of them. We just genuinely have to trust the system. And we've said that from the beginning. You know, we think the prosecutors have done a great job.
Dude, I will agree to that. I still say you should fucking ship them to another state for some of these. Where could they go, though? Like, this is such a crazy case. Where could they go? Oh, and then they gave out those flyers. I'll give it to you, Daniel. They are fucking with the jury pool big time. That is a problem. I agree. That's a problem, and I don't like that.
Moscow Police Department, great job.
If Kohberger were here right now, would you?
No, I would not be in this room if Kohberger were here.
Is there something you would like to say to him? Do you have a message?
No. Nope. If he gets sentenced, a state of Idaho has impact statements, and maybe we'll all say something at that point. But I can't really answer that question. I don't know. I don't go there.
Stacy said,
"You got an Impala? Bala? 20 blades? What? Don't." No one's gonna beat Scotty for most unruly. Yeah, he got a ban and a kick. I'll lift it tomorrow. He needs. Homie can't be eating the gummies or whatever he's doing before this shit. He gets too crazy. He gets ditzy. He becomes a ditzy girl.
As they haven't spoken much with the families of Madison Mogen or Kaylee Gonzalez, who they didn't really know before the crime, but they stay in touch with Xana Kernodle's family. Xana was Ethan's girlfriend. Stacy also stays busy, keeping her son's memory alive. The Chapins are working with best-selling author James Patterson, who asked if he could write about Ethan and what happened. And there's the foundation.
Ethan may no longer be here, but you've done so much to share his smile with the world. Talk about that.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, we had to figure out how best we were going to honor him. And, we just decided, let's scholarship kids in Ethan's name. I mean, what a great thing to do. We gave our own kids the gift of an education. We have, and what a great thing to then allow other kids to go pursue their dreams and, do whatever they want to do on a scholarship in Ethan's name. The support has been incredible. We have raised and worked hard. We have partnerships with some businesses locally. It's been incredible. We've given, $55,000 out in scholarships already to 35 kids. I mean, what a wonderful way for those kids to be able to go, follow their dreams and pursue their dreams. But we're just fortunate to have had him for 20 years. He was an amazing kid. He was funny and kind. He made sure everybody was included, and he loved life. He loved life, and he made all of us love life.
Up next, mapping Bryan Kohberger's DNA gave police their big break in the University of Idaho murders. Mapping the route Kohberger allegedly took that night gave them evidence that could convict. So we retraced the drive that cops claim was off the grid and over the line. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. But the trip Bryan Kohberger allegedly took the night of the murders is full of unexpected twists and turns, just like the case itself. What really happened out there on the back roads and side streets will be fought over at trial. But one thing's for sure, people who know Kohberger say,
yo, why is he kind of looking a little like Danny Tanner AI to me? Why does he look like an AI guy? He looks fake. What is this guy wearing? First of all, sir, you're not at the Copacabana. Second of all, why do you kind of look a little like half of Bob Saget and half of that guy from Firefly? What's going on here? Are you AI? Also, Mitty, I'm going to address you directly. First, I'm going to say thank you for the $3 super sticker. Slipped on my beans. As long as you don't walk on eggshells, you're all right in my book. Listen, Mitty, where are you? I must address you. Mitty, apologies, guys. I had to go a tinkle. Charlie, oh my God, tiger's blood? Tiger's blood? Mitty, do you ever look at these? And you know what? All of you. But I'm very curious if Mitty thinks this way, because when I interviewed her, I did want to ask this. Do you ever look at shit like this? And the rest of you really think about this, especially if you've ever worked in film. Do you ever think about the person who had to do this? Like, that this guy, half a SAG, he didn't do this. He didn't go, I'm going to cut out these quotes and I'm going to Mark Saget, Bob Cuban. I see it. I see it now. That's it. That's it. That is it. That is true. That is true. Everyone filed so many motions. Dude, I showed you guys, right? It's pages. I'll show you again. Somebody, their job was to go in here and to pin up these pictures, cut them into perfect squares, and then go. Somebody sent a PA that day. Okay. Yeah, to make it Charlie. They said, listen, okay, get the interns in here. Yep, the set department, the set deck. See, when I worked at the costume shop, I made props. And so the set people would come in and they go, hey, I need a coffin. I need a giant rock, but it can't be heavy. Can you make me a hat that makes me look like a zombie elephant? I go, yes. You would think that they would have some sort of person who would do that, but sometimes they would take advantage of our cheap special effects and our makeup specials. So we'd make someone look like they were a half pig man who went through a window. And that's what we did. In the amount of times I was asked to do stupid shit, like very intricate, like, hey, I need you to get a piece of paper and I need you to scribble like a kidnap note. It's got to have a paw print on it. Why? It's for a movie. Okay. And I sit here and I look at this shit and I can't even think about what's actually going on because in my head, some poor girl named Tina, who's 17, she's a goddamn intern. She's not getting paid. She borrowed her parents' hatchback Ford Escort to get to work that day. She gets there. He calls her in and goes, Tina, and he's getting makeup put on him, a grown-ass man. And she walks in and she goes, yes, sir. And he goes, can you go to Michael's? We need to make that board with all the lines to it, like in that Charlie Day meme. You know what I'm talking about? And she's like, who's Charlie? And he's like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. How old are you? And she's like, I'm 17. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. She's like, I don't know that show. And then he's like, okay, you know the thing where it's like detective shows and the lines go. And she's like, yeah. I need you to get me some fucking yarn, Tina. Well, what color? I don't know, Tina. Red, but I like green. Tina, I want it red because that's the color of blood and that pops. If it bleeds, it leads. Okay, fine. But I don't go to Hobby Lobby because they don't support a women's rights. Okay, Tina, for fuck's sake, go to Michael's. Thank you for reminding me, Sherlock Holmes. And now Tina, she goes to Michael's. She gets there. Guess what? Out of the red yarn. She calls him. He doesn't answer. She starts to panic. She's never had a job before, and she's not even getting paid for this. Her car runs out of gas. Now what's she going to do? She walks there. She gets the red rope. She takes it to him. He looks at it. He throws a fit. He says, this is burgundy. And then he reaches in his desk. He has some the whole time. He had some red yarn. He makes this shit in 10 minutes. He just starts fucking slamming the pins into the pictures and he turns around and he goes, we're going live. And that's how this shit gets made. And in my head, that is all I can think about when I see this shit. Is that some poor girl is probably crying at home going, I'm never going to make it in Hollywood because she couldn't make this shit, right? So they put someone else in charge of it. Do you ever think about shit like that, Mitty? Or any of you guys? That's the thing is you could just, Hobby Lobby has all the stuff. You could just make your own kit, you know? Well, yeah, of course. But it's up to him. And then he is the art director. He runs it all. He's doing a Blake Lively thing. He took over. He's mad with power. He's already accused the grip of sexual harassment. That poor intern. Poor Tina. Justice for Tina. There's no... he's transportation. He made the intern do it. Because transportation has to focus on getting him to the fucking Lakers game or whatever. You know, that is what is happening. He is right now panicking about, am I going to make it to fucking Uchiko by midnight? I have a reservation. It's all I can think about. It's fascinating the fuck out of me. Is he the star in every show he's in? Who is this guy? Is this really Charlie Sheen? Do I write? I write some crazy shit on bathroom walls. I'll tell you what. I do. Oh, I write all kinds of things. I write manifestos about Frasier. Which, by the way, I haven't gotten a single one from you kids in months. Just saying. Not disappointed, just upset.
He was never the same afterwards.
Mitty, this is America. Unions don't matter when you have fear. Is that John Hamm's cousin? I just can't. The boards really bother me. It's the boards. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, why? Really? You know what? This is all shit. We're not. Melissa, I'm going to go buy myself a Clue. Thank you for that, ma'am. Thank you for that, ma'am.
The probable cause affidavit shows how police used cell phone pings and security camera footage to track the white Hyundai linked to the quadruple murders from Pullman to Moscow.
By the way, that is not the picture I was talking about. There is a head-on picture from the apartments to the left if you're facing it. And there, it's looking down on it head-on as it's coming up the hill. And that one is extremely good. Oh, my God. What are you guys doing that for? Is this a prank? Is this a prank? Well, now I want to read it. I love nightmares. They can be. They can be. I heard gluey, sparkly baubles. You should make the murder board for that guy. He's hiring, I think. He fired a girl named Tina. Melissa, thank you for the $1.40. Is this a prank? This is a Canadian prank. I'm getting Canadian pranked. I'm getting Canadian pranked right now by a Coloradan and a Canadian. Def think that, but he pulls it out of his desk to show that what she should have got as he screams it in her face that she's a loser for not getting the right color. And then he tries to kiss her, and now she has a sexual harassment lawsuit on his ass, and he's going to get brought down, dude. QVC won't even hire him after this. She slaps him. He just goes in for it. She slaps the shit out of him. Fucking boom. She becomes president of... Oh, my God. Guys, why are you doing this? Is this a prank? Is this a... I fought you to throw my... What did... Hey, cool it. Cool it. Hey, cool it, Tombstones. Cool. Hey. What are you doing? What is this? If this is a prank, you're all fucking grounded. Grounded. Guys, you're making me look like a grifter. Stop it, Nicole. 99. Oh my God. It is a prank. What's going on here? Is this StreamYard? Thank you guys. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? What is happening? Thank you, Paul. I'm confused. This feels like an assault, but I think it's a good thing. I don't know. Ernie? Did you guys just do your taxes? What's going on? Jenno, thank you for being a... Oh, are you guys taking advantage of it? Is this one of those things where you're fake highlighting soupy chats? Someone told me there's a soupy chat coup going on out there. This is a prank. You've teamed up? Okay. Well, guess what? Thank you.
And back again.
I don't
what
know
sticks
why
out
you're doing
is
this.
how roundabout the
I'm
route
starting to get
is,
upset.
including an unnecessary detour down miles of deserted back roads. If Kohberger really was behind the wheel that night, two crime experts...
Dude, I feel awkward. What is happening? Why are you... Tiff, stop. What are you guys doing this for? I feel mad and I don't know what is happening. Oh my God. Is this how strippers feel? This is why they're always angry? When they go into Starbucks? Clicks and balls. But they're very nice outside of like the coffee shop. No hate to the strip club community has been very nice to me in the past on other cases. I actually really like, honestly, strippers they're hardworking in the brain too. Those bitches solve cases. They solve cases. Stripper Talk solves murders. You got Vicky, what is happening? Guys, is it 99-cent day? What happened? Is this because it's Women's Month? Happy Women's Month to everyone. I need to do my taxes. I think they're doing it right now. I think that's what's going on. I think they're doing my taxes. Thank you so much, Jenno. Yeah, strippers are very nice ladies, and they're very smart, and they're good at solving crimes. Melissa, you're grounded. Why are you guys doing this? I'm so confused. Daniel, you remember 5... Okay, I'm just going to... Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Thank you guys so much.
agree his state of mind would have been all over the map.
Well, first of all, when he actually makes a decision to go out that night to do it, his heart is racing at probably 120 beats per minute. He's nervous. He's sweaty.
They've crossed a line into a realm that they've only up to that point imagined. A lot of them fantasize about it, but they don't cross the line. But then once they cross the line, it feels like, holy cow, fantasy and reality are merging.
Police say Kohberger's cell phone pinged around 2:45 a.m. near an intersection leading to SR 270, the Pullman-Moscow highway. Then it goes off the grid, turned off, or put in airplane mode, in what investigators say is an attempt to avoid detection. Around 3:25 a.m., security cameras in a Moscow neighborhood capture the white Hyundai on Indian Hills Drive, well past the turn that would have been the direct route to the victim's house. Still, it only takes a few minutes to reach King Road. The affidavit says Moscow police collected numerous security videos when they canvassed the area around the victim's house to see if the suspect or his car was caught on camera. This clip may be one of them, the so-called Linda Road video. It's racked up thousands of views as true crime accounts and chat rooms obsess over it frame by frame. If genuine, then this security camera was recording about 250 feet away from the crime scene. The clip shows a car that appears to be circling the area. Around the same time, police say there were multiple sightings of the suspect car casing the victim's house. Around 4:04, police say Kohberger does a final pass of the house, then heads up to the apartment complex next door, which has a parking lot overlooking the victim's house. Someone standing there would have an unobstructed view of the bedroom windows and the sliding glass door, believed to be the killer's point of entry. The murders happened sometime between 4:04 and 4:20, when the white Hyundai is again spotted on security camera, leaving the neighborhood.
Thank you, guys. You're all grounded. And do Canadians get do you guys do tax returns? Do you have taxes up there? Why'd you get rid of the hot dumb guy? I love you too. But I don't know what I'm doing either, Vicky. I don't know what's going on. I don't know I don't know. I don't know. They're doing some kind of prank where they put money at me. And I don't know why they're doing it or if it's real. I'm starting to think this is a coup. Is this storming the Capitol? Are you guys storming my Capitol? What is happening? Thank you, Megan, for the super sticker. I'm even more suspicious. You're all creepers. You're all creepers creeping on your dad. Listen, Dad's going to take you guys for ice cream. Wait, hot dumb guy was super corrupt? The Justin? Financial scandals? The financier? The financier. You think you know a guy. Have you heard about this guy named Epstein? Dude, don't. It's atonement? It's a stonement. Dude, you guys are stoned. Thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. I'm the problem? Money's so dirty. Why are you throwing dirt at me? Why are you throwing dirty money? This is all, I know it's dirty money. I know it is because I see you kids. I see you kids. I see the pictures you put on the internet. Hey, listen. Is it politics? Did he do politics? I thought he was just looking good. I thought that was his party. Like, I'm just here to look good. Was that blackface thing real? Did he really do that? Dude, I'm so scared right now. I don't know what this prank is, Carrie, but if you're trying to pay my taxes, thank you. But if you're the IRS and this is your way of, if you guys are throwing money at me thinking you're going to get kisses at the end of the night, I'm so sorry.
At a high rate of speed. After that, there's a 20-minute gap where there's no footage or cell phone data. But police have a pretty good hunch that Kohberger was headed south out of town. When his cell phone turns back on at 4:46 a.m., he's already far down Idaho State Highway 95.
What do you think's going through his mind as he's instead of just going home, he goes for this road trip?
Well, because he's still hyped. He's got to come. He's got to try to. I didn't want anybody to see him real hyped.
What would you feel like if you just?
Okay, I know time's a flat circle because did you see that chick on Reddit who I wonder if they took it down. I'm going to go back and find it. I kind of want to just post it. This one chick had a theory that Bryan was in blackface. I was like, oh my God, come on, man. Also, that sucks. That guy was so hot. Why'd he go and do that? Why'd he go and do it? But what's crazy is like, why didn't that end it? Hey, we can't say nothing. Look at our fucking Jesus Christ. Man, we're all screwed. All the hotties are racist and all the naughties are racist. What do we do? And they're all financially fucked up. They're all racist with no money. It's because they're men. No offense, guys, but y'all are blowing it, dude. You're all blowing it. You're doing everything wrong, fellas. You're bringing mass chaos. Guys, he was fired from his high school teaching job. Trogdor. He's bad. Well, I'm glad you got him out. I'm glad you got him out. That is true. You can. That is true. You can buy a lot of Temu products on there. No idea. You could pick your super. I didn't know either. I don't know what's going on. You guys are assaulting me. Thank you, Okie Dokie, for assaulting me. Thank you, Ernie Birdie. You assaulted me earlier. Thank you, Clam, for assaulting me. It is a reverse allowance. I'm being assaulted. Thank you very much. That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. You're all assaulting me. Racist. Let's see. Truth Tombs. And that's assault. Here we go.
For people, and maybe you'd thought about it, but you never actually thought you'd go through with it, and then you actually did. And what it's almost like living a nightmare, or maybe it was like a dream that he finally realized. And but just it's a lot to put together.
Inappropriate moment. I apologize. I like her eyebrows. Bad face. Get to a good face. Those are the eyebrows I want. How do I get those? I feel like, yeah. She's like surprised, but awake. But also they're like curved. They're not like, and they don't look like when I did the stencils that girl sent me. That was crazy. I was going back looking at those. That was a crazy point in my life. I said, hey, I'm starting a channel. Why not use every color of this eyebrow kit, even if it doesn't match? And then just stencil them on, and it'll be funny, if anything. And they'd look bad, and I'd go, fuck it. I went on Duty Ron like that. No one stopped me.
It was like a dream that he finally realized. And, but just, it's a lot to put together. It's not like now they're just dancing around in glee. There's probably, about.
If I do Lori Vallow eyebrows and go to the Karen Reed trial, will you guys avenge me?
50 different emotions going through a person, panic of going through each thing that probably didn't go as planned.
And at that point, Kohberger would also have had a mess on his hands.
He might have been a little bit on autopilot and trying to avoid detection by not going straight home, and then getting rid of stuff. He didn't want to take his bloody stuff home because then it could transfer to something in his apartment, and then even if he got rid of the clothing, they could find the blood there or the knife. He had to get rid of those things. Maybe he didn't know specifically where he was going to go.
Dude, yeah, I found out that Deb was just trying to get me to unibrow until it did become a Justin Trudeau, and I had to stop. I saw the Bronx in real time, and I said, that's enough. Ryan, thank you so much. Ryan F. Ryan, thank you for sending a super sticker. I'm gonna go find that lady who pulled the horse's tail, and I'm gonna use a super sticker to gain her trust, offer to take her on a date, pretend to be a man, catfish her, and then when she arrives, I'm gonna pull her tail. I'm just kidding. She's probably in jail. She got a felony, right? Oh, that made me so mad. Thank you for the $4.99 hippos.
Drive around looking for the right place. If he just threw it in the brush somewhere,
I feel attacked.
There's a chance it can still be found.
I think they're buying me off. I think they think their dad's a whore.
Police have not produced the murder weapon, and they found no bloody clothing or any blood at all in Kohberger's car. But the route Kohberger allegedly took down Idaho 95, then over to
Which is crazy because this guy looks like he's always on his fucking period.
SR 195 in Washington is pitch black at night, mostly empty space, fields and woods, crisscrossed by streams. Once you get to SR 195, it's a straight shot up to Pullman. A security camera spots the white Hyundai around 5:25.
No, I'm not going to be inappropriate.
a.m. on Johnson Road, south of town. Then it's seen again on multiple WSU campus cameras in a line to Kohberger's apartment. He's home by 5:30 a.m. From there, we know Kohberger continued attending lectures and teaching classes as usual through the end of the semester. But people notice he's acting different.
Usually people, once they kill for the first time, there's a level of PTSD that occurs and a replaying of everything over and over and over again. I know that people mentioned that they saw him afterwards and he seemed totally frazzled. He seemed in just a completely different mood than he was leading up, the agitation leading up to it. It was like it was a completely different person.
He started listening to Hootie and the Blowfish constantly.
Up next, when a criminology student turns criminal.
Does it make you 100% better at what you do? Does it make you 100% more successful?
Sincerely, Jesse Raphael, what the fuck?
Can you still make mistakes?
What did Bryan Kohberger really learn at school? His alma mater is breaking its silence.
Dude, he looks like a young Vinnie Politan. I can't get over it. He really do.
Inside the Idaho murders, you have to go outside the state to DeSales University in Pennsylvania, where Bryan Kohberger got his master's in criminology in 2021. But was he studying
where he pretended to save a guy from a heart attack, but really he went too slow and then acted like a surprise little bitch while his coworker almost died and his other coworker saved him, and then he got the glory in the paper. Can you believe it?
To catch criminals or become one? DeSales University, in response to our questions, issued new statements. AJ Janaville shares what he learned.
There's another crime scene house connected to Bryan Kohberger, some 2,500 miles away from where the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered.
You know, this is a fantastic question. And I wish I could tell you for sure how all of them felt, but I can tell you how 2 did because I saw well, I'm not going to say I saw them say it. They were quoted by, I would say, reputable news organizations, but it was local. And I believe one of them spoke, but they didn't show her face, if I remember correctly. But basically, he started like punishing and being hypercritical of the female students. And one of them did have to make like a report about it or something, or she was going to. I believe he ended up getting caught. But I said that weird. I said what? But yeah, there was some issues with how he was treating the women. I think that in hindsight, they realized, oh, maybe that's why. But I do believe that they were well documented in that there were multiple witnesses. I think his professor or someone had to pull him aside. I believe he was like a TA. I have the paperwork. I will pull it up. We'll talk about it next time because we're going to do some deep dives into this from back when it happened, comparing to what we know now. But definitely there were students. I think the best way I could explain it, there were a couple of students who had issues with them. But then later on, when they found out about the crime, they're like, I wonder if this was when I was having issues with him. And they went back and they had it documented because they filed these complaints. So, I mean, I guess it's just like how the shoe fell. Or is that even a thing? Is that a fucking phrase? I don't know. Yeah, I think he was told he was going to lose his job, and he kind of freaked out about that. He did get fired, yeah. Did he, or they filed the formal release stuff, and then he was officially fired when they called the school, I think, to get a quote from the dean, which is, I think, why the students had to come out. I could be wrong, though. He was emailed that he had lost the job. Yeah, he was driving home with his pop, so it was after. But he knew it was coming, though, because he had a meeting with the professor, and she was like, if you do this shit again, and then he did that shit again with another female student. He was apparently being, like, super hypercritical of them to the point where he was being cocky and, like, laughing at them, and they were like, he never talked that much. They said that he was talking a lot more. And like making a big deal, a big stink out of nothing and like making them feel stupid. And he did it in front of the whole class and the professor. So like, yikes, dude. I picture it like Liar, Liar when he's melting down and he's like, I'm kicking my own ass. Like, holy shit. Yeah. When the weirdo starts acting extra weird, that's the best way. He definitely knew something was up, I guess. I mean, here's the thing. If it wasn't just him, you know, or if it wasn't just the students, to me, that's another thing that also, yeah, it's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Thank you, Tiff. Fucking Tiff knows all the cliches, if you want to be think about it. But in all seriousness, like, yeah, so there were people who thought that he broke in and stabbed this couple, and the couple, I feel like they survived and they were pissed about it, or maybe one of them, I think one of them passed and the other one survived. And even they were like, or the wife, I remember it was the wife. She was like, yo, this could be the guy. But they like tested all this shit. And they're like, nope. There's a couple of really weird crimes out there that happen kind of in the middle of nowhere and were very similar to this. He was super being like, I'm so sorry. I can't remember the shoe thing. That I keep thinking about the shoe thing. Husband died, wife survived. Yeah. She was really upset about it. And that's the thing is like, she was so traumatized. Like she couldn't say like it was him, I don't even think she saw him. But it was so odd. Do you remember that one, Necessary Evil? It was weird, right? It was very like, ooh, this could be it. But then when that was another thing with the Seattle stuff. One of the reasons I kind of want to focus on Washington is because, I didn't even know where Pullman was. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. So it's this far from Olympia, this far from Mount Rainier. Like I started to get a little visual map in my head. And it's like, that's really pretty area when you drive through it. But there's like nothing in some of those places. But there was a lot of crime. Yeah, I feel like, was it in Oregon, like right across the border, or was it in Washington? We'll find it and talk about it. It is fascinating. It is really fascinating. Was who stupid? Like what is it? Twerking in the dirty, stupid.
DeSales University showcases the crime scene house on Taylor Drive and its hands-on training for students considering a criminal justice degree. The faculty includes leading experts in the field, and there are internships created specifically for DeSales students at the Regional Forensic Lab, area police departments, and the local coroner's office. So when you hear Kohberger studied under Dr. Catherine Ramsland at DeSales, who is considered one of the nation's leading authorities on serial killers, and that part of his coursework included a survey asking criminals how they planned their crimes and how it felt to commit them, it might give you a real Dexter moment. Showtime's fictional crime scene expert who doesn't just solve murders, he commits.
This is ridiculous. This is the part I hate.
It's them too.
With Kohberger.
But I get that he's trying to be a metaphor guy because he's a reporter and he didn't wear his tie today. He's trying to account for some shit he fucked up. We'll give it to him.
It's easy to start asking yourself, did this person really want to be a member?
I think it's different. His was, I believe, wait. I know in New York, you have to wait, right? I don't know what the rule is in Idaho. But I do know that they were interested in gathering his DNA and people were reaching out to it. But they had latent prints at some of the other cases that I'm talking about. There were like 3 or 4. But the most concerning one I remember was that couple. And I don't know that they got fingerprints in that one. There was another one a little bit up northern way where they did. And I believe they were also trying to figure out if he was even in the school or around at the time. And in one of them, he wasn't, but he was moving in. It's very interesting.
Of law enforcement? Or was this just the safest and closest way they could get to whatever kind of demons or fantasies that they had been fighting for decades that then eventually came to this?
But that would be a gross misunderstanding of what criminal justice really teaches students, according to crime experts and academics. Mary Ellen O'Toole is both.
So forensic science is based on
Yo, I knew that was my bitch. I honestly, every time I see her, I think, who does she looks familiar. And it's in my head, I'm always thinking Sally Jesse, or like, I can't remember that actress's name. I'm not even going to try. There's no way I'm going to get it. Very indie. Mary Ellen changes her hair a lot, and we need to talk about it. I don't hate it. But damn, Mary Ellen, she a baddie, y'all. She a badass. Love her. I feel like, did she go on Duty Ron once? We're going to have to ask, and if she did, I'm going to watch it.
On the natural sciences. So our students study things that include physics and math and chemistry and biology. It's a science degree, and they're trained to use science in their evaluation of crime scenes. Criminal justice is a social science. It's a great degree, but it doesn't require the types of natural sciences that a forensic degree requires.
Dr. O'Toole is a former FBI profiler who now heads up the forensic science program.
This is very true and very upsetting. And I was very upset to find that out. I said, I thought that I would get this all just knocked out in 2 years with some upper level classes because I already did this Dog and Pony show a while back. I'm trying to stack. And they said, That's assault. And then they told me you can apply for it. It's essentially an open source intelligence program through cyber forensics. And a lot of community colleges are doing it now. And they're offering a full bachelor's. And then you could go on to get your master's. And digital forensic science is taking the fuck off. So if you are interested in that kind of program, I highly, I cannot recommend it more because it's only going to be around for the next like probably 5 years, maybe 10, because they're about to get overloaded in the job market, but not yet. And while you can get a valued degree that is very, very thorough and teaches you a fuckload, you can go in and you can get, they literally call them open source intelligence, cyber forensics, and digital analysis degrees. And you can full bachelor's, community college. I mean, shit, in Texas, that'll cost you what, like 6 G's, maybe total. And let's be honest, you're gonna, if you get a Pell Grant, you're gonna keep a little kickback there. Don't lie. And it doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60. If you want to fuck with Cellbrite, that's your chance. If you're good at computers and you might see yourself wanting to dibble dabble in some forensics, you want to go train and learn on some software and work for a PI or a fucking law enforcement agency, that's a good way to slip in there with some expertise that doesn't cost you a lot of money. You could be really good at it, and it's fucking in need, dude. I highly recommend it. Let's keep going.
At George Mason University. She says there's absolutely no data that suggests someone with a criminal justice or forensic major is more likely to commit a crime. Instead, the common denominators she finds in her classroom tend to be curiosity and compassion in the face of the unimaginable.
There she is, Christina, making that board, dude.
Forensic major is more likely to commit a crime. Instead, the common denominators she finds in her classroom tend to be curiosity and compassion in the face of the unimaginable.
Yeah, by the way, pros for duty Ron, everybody. Tomorrow he gets his PET scans. Or technically today. Yeah, it's 120. He's 100% gonna be okay, and we have to feel that. We have to believe it, and you better fucking pray. All right? Duty Ron's gonna get his PET scans. Or do your white voodoo, your what is it? The light voodoo, the good voodoo? What do you call it? There's black magic and good magic, whatever. Hook it up for your boy Ron. We're almost done here. We got 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and Dad's gonna go. Air fryer duck? That sounds delicious. Who's doing that? Red yarn. We need red yarn, kids. Put it on the agenda. We'll talk to IPA. Okay, we'll figure it out. White light. Send it all. Send it all to Ron. Light your candles. I have my child Fidencio candle. I'm going to light for him tonight. Okay, I love you all. But we gotta make a murder board.
To most of us who have never committed a murder, we don't understand it. And our curiosity causes us to say,
yeah, I don't
what happened?
Get it, Mary.
How did that person become so divergent in what they've done and what they decided to do, how they hurt or murdered that person? I got to learn more about that.
Yeah. Maroon.
And so to me, when I talk to my own students and my own experience growing up, my students tell me the same thing. They grew up wanting to know the whys.
Yeah.
And the hows.
Yeah. So what did Kohberger learn? We asked DeSales if he would have gotten hands-on training, like the kind seen in the crime scene house video. In a statement, the school says no. Kohberger was learning remotely. The Masters of Criminal Justice online graduate program is virtual. On-campus labs or environment.
See? Woo! Put his ass on blast. He did this virtual, so he cheated? So you're telling me he got the Quizlet? Okay, cool.
Environments are not part of the coursework. The crime scene house isn't a part of the Masters of Criminal Justice program. What about him surveying criminals on Reddit with prompts like, why did you choose that victim before making your move? How did you approach the victim? The school says this kind of behavioral study was standard, and Kohberger wasn't working alone. All students enrolled in the Masters of Criminal Justice program are required to complete a capstone research project that is supervised by faculty, and 2 of Kohberger's professors are listed as co-researchers on the survey. There's no argument that Kohberger was a standout at DeSales. A professor who recommended him for the doctorate program at Washington State University described Kohberger as brilliant and one of my best students ever. But O'Toole says studying criminology doesn't mean you'll be a better criminal than, say, someone who reads up on a murder case in the papers or listens to true crime podcasts.
The learning process is not unusual. It really depends on where people are looking for their information. Now, whether it's classroom training or following someone else that's committing the kinds of crimes that you do, does it make you 100% better?
You know, that's a good point. And you know what's interesting? A lot of like victims' families and stuff say that too. They're like, you know, even if he told me why, it wouldn't be good enough. It wouldn't bring my kid back, you know? But they still want to ask. Maybe it's human nature to want to know what we actually probably don't want to know.
Better at what you do? Does it make you 100% more successful? Can you still make mistakes? You can absolutely still make mistakes because there's a lot of emotion that goes into committing a crime. And when you lose control in a crime scene, then you're more likely to make mistakes, leave evidence, and they don't write about that in a textbook.
Coming next month, inside the Idaho murders, we go inside the mind of Bryan Kohberger.
Well, John
So
Douglas
you
does.
have things like depression, anxiety, depersonalization, tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. And those also come with visual snow.
From visual snow to new claims of autism. Can Kohberger's state of mind impact the case?
Yo, they jacked Dad's content. I'm just kidding. Damn, you guys. Uh-oh. I did a Justin Trudeau. Okay, I'm back. Listen. Okay. Honestly, I learned a lot about the yarn. Okay. They did mention a couple of things in there that I haven't seen a lot of people focus on. I did not get to the visual snow part at the end. That was pretty good. I'm glad someone's going to bring that up finally again. The route that he took and the specifics, putting him on blast at DeSalle, that is something I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, and that's pretty much the whole point I want to show you this, because like people talk about this guy like he's a fucking brilliant genius, and yeah, like a professor recommended him, but he took all online classes, and if the professor was recommending him based on his labs and his studies from all his online classes, as much as we want to believe it, you know, perfect scores, and then he gets to the university and not perfect scores, makes me think that when put in an actual learning environment with restrictions like people watching you, when you have to take tests in person, those sort of things, I think can factor out perhaps a little cheating, a little cheat sesh. You can't tell me that guy isn't lazy as fuck sometimes. And I'm willing to bet that he did what a lot of the all fully online with the labs kids do when they're stellar workers, and then all of a sudden their grades drop when they start taking the in-person classes. It's usually, in my opinion, because they cheated. And I TA'd once, and I can tell you that was like, oh, wow, didn't have any idea how prominent that was. But you really see the difference when someone's breezing by with 100, sweeping it, and then they all of a sudden start taking in-person classes and it's not going so well. That's something that some people might blame on social skills, sure, but I'm talking about the tests, the book smarts. When you see that dissipate and the grades fucking go, in my opinion, that's usually because people are cheating. And that cop or the professor who recommended him, like, they could have been just looking at the portfolio, but I think it was cool that someone finally called that shit out. Like, he was taking really basic shit. People were acting like he was the mind hunter. Like, that's not, like, you know, this guy has a bit of a past and quite a weird internet history, to be honest with you. This dude's like, he seems very scatterbrained to me, and it totally makes sense to me why he would Lucard that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, they're going to prove it. They have his Amazon search result. Actually, a guy who supposedly, there was a guy a while back who claims to have met him to show him a K-bar knife to sell him out of a car on the side of the road. Simultaneously, now we're finding out they're doing the Amazon search history. We see all the warrants in the lists. I mean, I'm sorry, but homie has visual snow and he's out stargazing and driving at night, 3 a.m. in airplane mode. pinging off Bluetooth around the property 12 days before the crime video. There's just a lot. There's just a lot to overlook. Not Colin Albert. Guys, you assaulted me a lot today. Well, there's no victim DNA in the car. He had a whole month to clean it out. He had a month to clean. That's how. He had so much time to clean it out, to get it detailed. And then to drive it around and get it all fucking dirty again with other particles and shit. That's the crazy thing about it. I bet if they would have caught him within like a few days, sure. I bet they'd find a lot. But you also got to keep in mind, this dude's, I mean, he, like, when I took the same program he took, but in a different state, a couple of things were a little different. We learned about luminol. We learned about all the different things that you can use to hide blood. We learned, I mean, I do disagree with Mary on that. You do learn quite a bit, even, I mean, unless you're just totally fucking faking your way through. I mean, this dude literally, he could have sprayed luminol, saw exactly where the blood was himself, and then handled it until he sprayed it and there was no more. And then take it to get detailed. He had a whole mess of time to do that. That's what sucks. And then he could have driven around other places. He could have purposefully gone out of his way to hit a raccoon and then taken it in to get fixed. And then all these dudes are touching his car. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much time he had to, like, handle it. And he knew the methods to basically reverse engineer the crime scene. If all of the, let me put it this way. The crime scene was at the house, right? So the crime scene cleanup is brought to the car. Let's say he tosses it in a bag. They said he was carrying a vacuum. Seems odd. Did he vacuum up particle? Was it a handheld vac? If it was, did he swipe himself for hair? Then he did spray himself? Did he fucking strip off his clothes, put them in a bag, hop in the car, have booties on, drive away, wear gloves the whole time? Get home, handle his shit, drive, because he had a lot of miles put on his car over that time, drive to another state the opposite direction, go to a car wash, a detailing place, get it detailed, go home, spray luminol, test it day after day until he gets everything out, vacuum it again, clean it again. He attempted to get the new license and plates and all that stuff. I mean, shit. Remove what you're wearing before you get back out. Like, there's just so many things he could have done. And remember, he walked up around the back of the house. And he's driving around these mountains. He's probably fucking dumping it the whole time. Damn. Like, and that's another thing. What if he would have gotten pulled over in that time? And he wasn't in his jogging clothes or whatever, his gazing clothes, you know what I mean? You wouldn't able to find anything about the car accident in front of his apartment. I wonder if there's police cam. You know, I heard something about that. Was that real? Because I know that he had, like, people ran his Carfax report, but you can run his vehicle history, and there was definitely some minor damage on it at one point. I presumed maybe he hit a raccoon or, like, a deer or something. I mean, a deer would have really fucked his car up, but maybe he hit an animal to get other blood on it. I know it sounds crazy, but pawning shit off his animal DNA just in case. Even that seems really risky. Maybe he did just get in a car accident. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. This guy gets pulled over so fucking much. Whew. It's a lot. Okay. I have to go. I love you guys so much. Thank you for assaulting me early. Appreciate that. We're definitely I'm excited they're going to talk about the visual snow thing. That was his account. So, like, I'm very curious about that. I hope that they have a Dorothy or someone on to talk about, what's this guy got fucking noodle brains? Well, if he bonked his head, now he's mean, you know? He bonked his head, now he kills people. Oh, shit. Oh, he's got a fucking weird eye problem, and now he just murders people. Oh, well, okay. Did he have tinnitus? I'm very curious. Very curious. Anyway, I love you guys. You're the best. Ernie, that's assault. You know what, Ernie? This one's for you. This one's for all you kids tonight. This one's for all you kids. And by the way, don't forget, don't forget, let me show you one more time. All right, real quick. Got to show you Hannah McNaught. Let me pull myself out so you can see real big. Thank you for the super sticker. That's Assault. Tulips for Scotty. Oh, he's going to be so pissed. Hey, mods, can someone go back and like unban him just so we can hear what he says next time? He's got to learn. I'm going to make him go back and watch himself. I'm going to be like, Scotty, what would you do? He's such a nice dude. He just needs tulips. He hates tulips, so he hates them. Scotty hates them. Satan hates Scotty. Fuck. What are we going to do? How do we build a bridge with you boys? Maybe Satan and Scotty need to go on a cross-country road trip to learn a valuable lesson about friendship. All right, I love you guys. You're the best. Look for Hannah if you're in South Dakota. All right? Look for Hannah if you're in South Dakota, kids. You're the best. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. That's all. Cross-country road trip. 2025.
Attorneys who prosecute the offenders.
Fast mode. You've never heard it like this. It's a fast. Woo!
That's assault. That's assault. Break out. Pop that chair. That's assault. That's assault. Break out. Break out. Pop that chair. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. You cannot touch me like that. Oh, I will be telling you exactly what happened. Break out. Break out. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. We have video for just touching. How did that go? I will. Excuse me. Excuse me. Break out. That's assault. Excuse me. You cannot touch me like that. Break out. Break out. Break it. Break it. Break it. Break out. Break out. Oh, I will be telling you. Break out. Break out. That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. Break out. That's assault. We have video for just. These people are going to eject you from this line. How did that show? I will assault. It is incredibly appropriate. I will. You cannot touch me like that. That's assault. Break out. Stop that character. You cannot touch me like that. It is incredible. That's assault. Break out. That's assault. Break out. Stop that character. Stop that character. Stop that character. These people are going to eject you from this line. Break out. That's break out. Break out. That's assault. Break out. Break out. Oh, I will. That's assault. That's assault. Oh, I will be telling you exactly what happened. Stop that character. That's assault. Break out. That's assault. Break out. Break out. Pop that chair. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. It is. You cannot touch me like that. Oh, I will tell you exactly what happened. Break out. Break out. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. We have video for just touching. How did that go? I will. Excuse me. Excuse me. Break out. That's assault. Excuse me. Pop that chair. You cannot touch me like that. Break out. Break out. Break it. Break it. Break it. Break out. Break out. Oh, I will tell you. Break out. Break out. That's assault. Pop that. That's assault. That's assault. Pop that. Break out. That's assault. Pop that chair. We have video for just. These people are going to eject you from this line. How did that show? I will assault. It is incredibly appropriate. I will. You cannot touch me like that. That's assault. Break out. Pop that chair. You cannot touch me like that. It is incredible. That's assault. Break out. That's assault. Break out. Pop that chair. Pop that chair. Pop that chair. These people are. These people are going to eject you from this line. Break out. That's break out. That's break out. That's assault. Break out. Break out. Oh, I will. That's assault. That's assault. Oh, I will. That's assault. 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 Oh, I will. That's assault. 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 That's assault.